What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Master and Drum Whiskey Room. It is Blendageddon the Finals. Oh my God. It is finally here. It is happening. Whiskey Wednesday night. What's going on? Kicking off December, right? With a little Blendageddon Finals with some very, very special guest judges that I'll be bringing on pretty soon. I am so freaking pumped. Not only that tonight, but we are raising money for St. Jude Children's Hospital. Thanks to the help of Durell Stewart, who is donating a very healthy sum of bottles, including a donation from ADHD whiskey, a couple bottles from myself. We have quite the lineup of giveaway bottles that you have a chance to win tonight based on your donations. So we'll get into that in a little bit. We'll go through all of that. But real quick, I want to bring on the special guest tonight, special guest judges. Let's hear it for Mr. Fred Minnick.
What up?
And the other judge that we have tonight, all the way from Colorado, ADHD whiskey.
Good evening. How the heck are you?
And there he is. What's going on, guys?
Not much. Just drinking whiskey. Hey, Matt, do you have a train? Do you have a train,
Fuck
Matt?
your train.
I was waiting for it. This is how we're gonna start it. F your train. All right.
I was going to get a train to put it in my background, but we apparently have thrown away all the trains in the house. So I'm beginning to wonder if I have some kind of sociopathic issue against trains.
Imagine that.
You might. That's it. Your brain is trained right now. You hate trains. All right, guys. So this is what we're gonna talk about a little bit before we get into Blendageddon and crown a champion tonight. So first things first. In the top of the chat, you will see a link that is pinned to the top of the chat. That is for you to go and donate to. I started a GoFundMe for St. Jude Children's Hospital. Basically, how it works is for every $5 that you donate, you will get an entry into an entry into the bottle giveaways tonight. Right now, we have about 22 bottles in the giveaway. Have a good amount. If you want to see the full list, you can look in the description of the video. Also, the list is also on the GoFundMe link. We're going to give them away. We're going to rattle off the giveaways later tonight. I have some great mods, including Adriana from Whiskey Mountains and also Marty from Whiskey Nose, who will be helping with the list and picking the winners once we get into all that. So the goal is to hit maybe $5,000 if we can. Right now we're a little over 2,000 already, even before we started. So I'm hoping to hit that goal to donate to the St. Jude Children's Hospital because it's always good to help out around the holidays. So if I'm missing your super chats, I'm sorry, guys. I will try to get them. Adam Hinson, Toshi Bake, thank you so much, guys. Have a bunch of people in the chat already coming in. I do want to bring one more guest on real quick. Before that, Adam Dorman, thank you so much. Fred Minnick and ADHD whiskey are in the house. It's benefiting St. Jude. It's going to be an epic night. It sure is. Dave R., thank you so much. Mr. Whiskey Shits, I appreciate it. So real quick, I want to bring in the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Durell Stewart. Durell, how you doing?
Durell.
Caught me at an awkward moment.
Durell, first and foremost, I just want to thank you and thank you for all your generosity and donating all these bottles and raising the money for St. Jude. This is like what, our third, fourth maybe thing we've done together?
Yeah, man, it's been a few. Like, I'm always popping up in everybody's stream, just trying to give away some bottles, man. I have too much for myself. I can't drink them all, so I'd rather share them with everybody else.
It's awesome.
Right. Yeah. I wanted you to introduce you to both Matt, and I don't know if you talked to Matt or Fred Minnick before, but definitely wanted to thank you, Durell.
I have not. I appreciate you guys helping out.
Well, I'll tell you, it's that spirit of giving that really blows people's minds when you talk to them about the bourbon community. They get people often just look at this as like an intoxicant or something that you just kick back and maybe have a good time with. And that's true. You can get hammered and fall down on bourbon, but you can also have a good time and just drink responsibly. But when people find out how much money that we raise and how many people donate bottles that are worth thousands of dollars or barrels that are worth upwards to $100,000. You know, they kind of change their tune. You know, it's this is a beautiful community, and I can't thank you enough for doing this and donating those bottles. That's awesome, man.
Absolutely.
That's really my pleasure, man. I enjoy it myself.
All right, so real quick, the reason, if you guys, we definitely appreciate the super chats, but if you're gonna send in some money, rather you do it the GoFundMe way, because this way YouTube isn't taking any of that, a portion of that. GoFundMe takes a very, very minimal portion of the donations coming in, which is right now up to $2,795. So we are climbing and climbing so far. So I want to thank everyone. Durell, cheers, man.
Cheers.
Real quick too, while Durell is on, I do want to for those of you that did not know Shari G in the chat, Shari G, we lost Shari, or SG Flying High, in the chat, as you may have known her. We lost her to COVID quite suddenly, very recently. I had the opportunity to talk to her a good amount of times through email. And the one thing that I always remember about Shari that always came through was her love for the whiskey community and the YouTube community, and also connecting with the Whiskey Tube community. So she will be sorely missed. So everybody just raise your glass a little bit for Shari, and let's dedicate tonight's festivities and raising money for St. Jude. We'll dedicate that to Shari. I'm gonna have a little angels in me, because she's another angel that has gone up with everyone else. So cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Cheers.
We'll pour something since I got a plastic cup instead.
All right, so real quick, guys, before Durell Stewart drops off, some of the highlight bottles tonight. We have two Remus Repeal 5s that you have a chance to win. 2 Weller 12s we have in the giveaway. Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered, Obtainium 13-year, Barrel Craft Seagrass, a Mckenna 10-year, a Bomberger's, a Shenk's, a Calumet 15, a Weller 107, ADHD whiskey, and his new loose single barrel pick, which I've gotten to taste, and it's fucking amazing. Michter's Toasted Barrel Bourbon for 2021. We got some hitters in there tonight, and who knows what might end up towards the end of the night. So get in your donations, and you might have a chance to win any one of those bottles. And there's more that I'm not going to keep listing, but there's a bunch.
Yeah, there's several of my Whiskey of the Year contenders in there that I haven't released that list yet, but there's a possible front runner in that list.
Yeah, I think I know the bottle you're talking about, but we'll see. All right, Durell, I'll let you go. We're gonna get into crowning a champion, but again, cheers and thanks for all you do for the whiskey community, man.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey, Durell.
Guys, I've got a problem.
What's the matter?
With this beard and this sweater vest, I have zero neck.
I mean, I all I just see is a beautiful figure, just straight on, great beard, great hair, great sound. I don't even notice the neck. When I notice someone's not wearing an ascot, I just move on from the neck.
Yeah, like Matt's got that baby face. Like if he shaved, like he would look like he just did like a 10-year-old like portrait at Macy's for Christmas. but stick a beard on that kid, and that's Matty.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, he does have that, that cute, lovey kind of jolly youngster look there.
I could be on a roll of a pack of toilet paper.
Actually, I don't know how old you are, Matt. How old are you?
37. Just turned 37.
Yeah, there you go. Wise beyond your years. We're Jason and I, are supporting arthritis and gray hairs and so forth. I mean, I mentioned it before we got going here, but kids, they age you faster than anything, and that's the fun part in life.
That's right. Let's just see here. Okay, we got a bunch of people. All right, we already have a couple. Matt's favorite chant, Matt. Yes. Hey, Kelsey Dime is here. Thanks so much for doing it. Just donated. Awesome. Keep those donations coming in. Thanks so much for the super chats, guys. Before we get into Blendageddon, I do want to have a quick mention, give Fred a chance to talk about Repeal Day.
Yeah. First of all, I have to tell you all, as the father of two little boys, and just a lover of always just loving around kids and playing with them and playing, toys and things. I one of my big charities is the Ronald McDonald House, St. Jude. I've done a lot of stuff with St. Jude in the past, but this is such a charity that's very important to me. And my hat's off to you, Jason, for doing this. I think it's awesome. And, we can, one child sick and dying is one too many, in my opinion. And, everybody deserves to have a life. And that's what St. Jude is there for. It's there and trying to make sure that we have children that survive a lot of tough sicknesses and stuff. So this is a very important night. So get those super chats going. Go to the GoFundMe page. Whatever you got to do, get those wallets out. And remember, this is also the giving season. So Santa is watching. So Repeal Day Expo, this is the second annual year. We were going to do this in person. Last year it was virtual. But when you plan events of any significant scale, you have to make a decision about 3 months out. And I made a decision to take it virtual because a lot of people were not feeling comfortable about being back indoors with people. But it was more importantly, it was the distillers, the people who would show up and exhibit. They all had different policies. And I was just like, I don't want to deal with all this. We had a great time in Deggy World last year, and we're going to go back. And so I'm dropping in the chat right now. I'm dropping in the chat, free ticket. Fill out this form, and you get a free ticket into the expo hall. And so you just fill that out right there. Come in, and you build your own avatar, and you walk around in a world as basically like you're in Sims. And you walk into to panel rooms, and you see people speak. And two of our speakers right here, Matt and Jason, are both doing panels. Matt's doing a panel with Smoke Wagon. There may or may not be illegal drugs in that panel. With Jason, it's a little bit more conservative. He's just talking with the folks at Barrell. And and I'm going to be in and out. We do have some celebrities involved. E40, the famous rapper on the West Coast, is going to be there as well on Sunday. But really, this is a celebration of the repeal of prohibition. We'd love to have you come out. It does actually benefit a charity as well. It benefits the American Cocktail Museum. As a historian, as someone who has written books on spirits and wine and whiskeys and what have you, I have seen like food get all kinds of attention when it comes to research, and cocktails and spirits get very little. So because this is about celebrating the repeal of prohibition, I wanted to make sure that we were able to raise some money to make sure that we have the history of spirits always at the forefront. So thank you for the time. I'm excited to taste these. This is exciting.
Yeah. So for those of you that do not remember, and I think all the contestants are in the chat tonight, we have a top 6. Here are the last contenders that are left. Adam Hinson with the Dirt Tea Rag blend. Todd Ritter with Heaven and Hill. Durell Stewart, he has a blend in the mix. Durell's blend. Jeffrey Wack with the 2021 mixtape blend. Austin Bucket with the kitchen sink. And William Davilar with My Own Private Idaho. So those are the 6 blends that are in the mix tonight to be crowned. One of those blenders will be crowned champion. So.
And you haven't told us anything about these blends. We don't know.
I actually
don't know anything about them.
I don't even know what's in these blends yet. They're here. These are with the contents of the blend. So I haven't looked at these until the end. These were 3 sets of samples were poured blind. They were numbered 1 through 6. So we're going to just taste them in that order. And then at the end of the night, the Grinch over here has the envelope to find out what number belongs to the winner we're going to choose.
Oh, okay. I dig it.
We dig it?
I dig it.
And then while that's happening, while we're tasting through all these, again, guys, go to the GoFundMe page, donate. I have some awesome moderators. Adriana from Whiskey Mountains and also Marty from Whiskey Nose are keeping track of everything. So,
You got black box flying overhead there, Matt?
That's my stomach. I'm sorry.
Somebody's hungry for biscuit. Dude, did you eat dinner before this shit? Come on, man. You all right?
three dinners.
3 dinners.
2 dinners per pour. No, that's not math. Sorry.
All right, you guys ready to dive in?
Go
yeah. How do you want? Are we going to taste and discuss, or are we?
Yeah, let's taste, discuss each one as we go through them, and then we could hopefully start narrowing it down.
Yeah, got it.
All right, here we go. Fred Minnick, esteemed bourbon palate and writer, world's top whiskey taster, and then me, the Italian that likes to drink. We have 3 top-notch judges.
Hey, I tell you what, Jason, don't sell yourself short, man. I've been watching you since you did a something on a Forbes piece I wrote.
Yes.
And my editors from Forbes said, "Hey, we thought this was cool. I thought you'd like to check it out." And I've been following you ever since then. You know, it was I was impressed then with your approach, and I continue to be impressed. So don't ever sell yourself short, my friend. And you know, Matt needs no love. He's already crowned the world's best whiskey taster, which that's coming up again. Are you coming to that, Matt?
I saw that you're going to be a judge as well, sir.
Yeah, so you are going to be there. Yeah, I'm judging. I really don't know what I'll be doing, but
So I'm going to go from 0 interactions with Fred Minnick personally to 3 in a week.
So Matt, are you judging the next World Side Whiskey Taster?
In one of the events, yeah. I think I'm actually judging some of the blends that they're making for one of their competitions.
Very cool.
They're all going to pale in comparison to what I created last year.
Well, of course.
They had me walk up 6 flights of Rickhouse stairs and then blend something in the cold. They were out together. They knew that I was at a disadvantage, but I couldn't be stopped.
Dude, it gets cold in those warehouses, man.
My heart rate was about 250.
Papa wants to donate a set of samples. Sugar Kitty, have him talk to Whiskey Mountains. You could add that to the thing. All right, here we go. Wow, this is coming off as a fruit bomb to me.
What kind of fruit?
Like I'm getting like bubble gum though, like cherry bubble gum.
Getting a little sawdust.
Yeah.
It's
like walking into the Lowe's lumber. I mean, there is fruit hidden underneath that, but for my nose, I
definitely see the lumber thing.
It's like, I mean, they might have added some sawdust to it.
Mm-hmm. It's like a girl who just showered is working in the lumber section of Lowe's.
Matt, are you going around smelling people straight out of the shower, to get this down, pat? Like saying, hey, you know what? You just came out of the shower. Do you mind if we go to Lowe's? I'd like to smell you there.
I was walking in like just outside of downtown Hartford in this area we were living in last year. It's like the dirtiest streets, and I was like, "Oh, there's a girl showering in one of these buildings." You can just smell it. It's just like the product they use is very not what I smell like.
Does Bath and Body Works have like a new sawdust soap?
Well,
no.
with the soap commercials I get on YouTube, I mean, maybe, the Sasquatch guys. So I will say, like, after, I wouldn't say it's an offensive nose, but I would say a nose that's not getting me excited about it. After that, I get into the whiskey, and it's really quite pleasant.
Yeah, that's very sweet.
Yeah, it's.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. There's
It actually shifts gears towards the back end, and finishes really nice.
I feel like there's something. I feel like there's maybe a finish type of whiskey in this blend.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is got a wine barrel finish to it in some way.
Or
probably,
or let me go out on a limb here and say that there is some Jack Daniels in here. There is a tanniny kind of note that I get on the nose and a little bit on the finish that reminds me of a Jack Daniels or like a Brown Foreman barrel tanninish flavor.
If they were able to successfully blend out the banana note that is over dominating in some of those Jack products, then I would say whoever blended this has an excellent skill set. Because and not that the banana note is bad, it's just like you always taste it and you can identify Jack Daniels very easily, and I don't get that here. This is very pleasant. I mean, the
one thing I get from Old Forester, not all the time, but a good amount of time, is that acetone nail polish remover note. I'll get that on a good amount of the aged stuff. I've gotten it in a couple of birthday bourbons, unfortunately.
Yeah, birthday's hit and miss. I mean, I know what people go batshit crazy for that one, but I mean, I have had more bad releases of a birthday bourbon than I have had good.
All right, let's do
going back to the nose after tasting it. The nose is actually, I don't know, seems to be improved a lot. It's weird.
When I go back to it, it's even taken a worse step. And like, I mean, maybe I'm just now smelling homeless people because you're talking about walking around at like shower tents and stuff. But now it's
for me it's gotten a little worse, but I'm still enjoying the palate on it though.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the palate's great,
but we do want the blend to cover, nose, palate, and finish, all the kind of the best of everything. So,
and I would say that the finish is soft.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you have not hit the like button yet, please do. We have 500 people in the chat, so please hit the like button while you're still hanging out.
Matt, I was going to YouTube to hit the like button right there in that moment, and I was like, oh wait, I'm actually on here. I can't pull up the YouTube and do that.
So real quick, guys, we have hit our goal already at 5,000. We're up to $6,365.
That is awesome.
For the fundraiser.
Awesome.
So cheers to you guys. That's amazing. Keep it coming. Got a lot of bottles to give away tonight. So,
I'm going to blend 2 now with that good news, and let's hope that good news doesn't spur you into just liking it just because.
That's a good point. Let me get some water here. I'm wondering how the poor bastards that have blends in the mix or how they're feeling right now. They're like, did they just taste my blend? Oh, fuck. Oh, man. All right.
Also a little bit of a funk on it.
Yep.
Not in a bad way, but.
You ever pulled lemon off of a lemon tree?
No.
So there's the lemon tree, lemon has a very unique smell. Obviously you cut it open, you smell it, but when it's connected to the tree, that little connection point has a like a bitterness, and like it's actually used in like some bitters. It's like it's got like that hard end of like a lemon smell to this. So a very unique kind of citrusy. I would even say, like, if someone's familiar with limoncello, like you could maybe pick up just like a waft of limoncello in this.
A limoncello.
So I've never picked a lemon from a lemon tree, but I have used end dust to clean many of hotel rooms.
Yeah.
I kind of get that lemon scented furniture polish.
Yeah.
You clean it up before you leave there, Maddie?
I used to clean up after people.
So do you bring your own cleaning gear to a hotel?
No.
No, never done that. I had a buddy of mine in college that used to bring one of those UV lights to check the bed before he.
That's dumb. It's a bad idea.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're just asking to find shit. What are you doing?
It's one of the gifts of being in the military. He's like, you've been to so many places and slept in so many bad spots, like you just don't care. You know, it's just like whatever. Is it quiet and good? All right.
I could see the lemon on the nose. I get a lot of orange on the palate, like blood orange.
Okay.
Good amount of spice. It's maybe a little bit drying.
Dude, it's like dehydrated orange. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like one better. I'll say it. I'm sorry. I don't like this one. This is very off-putting to me.
Is it because of the drying palate?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's this, but it has that kind of like dehydrated orange, like over minerally flavor right there in the middle, and it's just
What's your take on this one, Maddie?
Yeah, I see the mineral notes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the mineral and the citrus kind of reminds me of like an older one of those single barrel George Dickel's.
Yeah, I was just thinking
an old George Dickel product.
I was just thinking Dickel. That mix of mineral and like orange peel definitely makes me think Dick. And I'm not sure if Dickel's in this mix, but that definitely makes me go that way.
Yeah, it has that. It's kind of leaning in that direction. I don't think I dislike it as much as Fred, but
yeah, there are other brands that will show that from time to time, and you know it's all about fermentation. That is a note that comes from fermentation. But I mean, I can't say it's Dickel. I just can tell you that I don't. I mean, it does follow that flavor profile a little bit.
Yep.
But this is like. I mean, I've had a lot of really, really great Dickel blends, and this doesn't hold a candle to that. And not to continue to go down to like fuck your blend kind of conversation. but I can say with authority that I will not be voting for 2.
All right, let's go into 3 here. Oh. Oh, I'm digging 3. Just like 5 minutes of us fucking breathing right now.
I know. Hello, man. This is like
thimbleberry. It's got a thimbleberry nose, is what I call it.
Damn.
It's more of a bitter raspberry. It's total thimbleberry on the nose.
Thimbleberry, snozberry a little bit.
It's a Pop-Tart coming right out of the toaster.
Oh yes, Pop-Tart. I see. I was getting pastry, but Pop-Tart is kind of a perfect way to. I was getting like fresh pastry.
Can I get a thimbleberry Pop-Tart?
You can get a thimbleberry Pop-Tart.
You know what? I mean, they had it on Family Guy.
Yeah. I'll make that for you.
I mean, best nose of the night so far. This is a beautiful nose.
Hands down.
Yeah.
So whoever blended this, an enormous kudos to you with putting together something so beautiful and aromatic. Gorgeous.
There's a floral and fruity aspect to this that's beautiful.
Yeah. Great.
Which makes me
reminds me a bit of some of the better toasted barrel bourbons I've smelled too.
Like if Four Roses did like a toasted bourbon, like I feel like this is what it might smell like.
They'd have to get new ownership to do that, but yeah. I don't think you're wrong.
Huh. This one seems to ramp up a little bit as it from the front of the palate to the back. It seems like actually flavor ramps up a little bit. Then it is a bit drying on the finish, but it's enjoyable.
Oh yeah, I don't mind that at all.
It's still finishing for me. Do you all get any kind of
This is going.
Like a pine nut, like a roasted pine nut, or any kind of like tree nut in this. Like
I
on
was
the
thinking,
finish.
I got almonds on the nose. I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
really getting it so much on the palate, but on the nose, I was picking up a little almond.
This is a fantastic blend. Fantastic blend.
So far, this is the leader in the club. This is really, really good.
I just kind of want to. I kind of just want to spend some time with it, and go in the back and leave you two and just sip on it.
Hey, what's going on, Mash Bill? Mega Dog's in the house. What's going on? Dr. Caitlin Brubaker's in the house. How you doing, Dr. Caitlin Brubaker?
Caitlin.
Thrasher's in the house. Whiskey Central. How you doing, Shayla Luela? So since you said all these were good enough to make it to the finals, is Fred saying F yo contest? Well, I mean, if that second blend is remember, when I'm doing all these blends head to head, it really depends on who you're going against. So in your tournament, I mean, that second blend, I happen to like that flavor profile, the orange and some of that, but I don't remember it coming off as bitter as it was now. So, things change.
Yeah, and I can be an enormous asshole, with some of that stuff. So,
and remember, and these blends have been sitting in their jars, just even marinating more. So, stuff could change over time. That's kind of the beauty of Blendageddon. You kind of attack it at the beginning. Matt won last year's Blendageddon. He's a defending champion.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you won last year, man.
Damn,
I didn't forget about that. Obviously, I didn't forget. And I'm going to gloat a little bit.
Like, why wasn't that in my intro?
Blendageddon champion.
Yeah. Will Henderson, go Braves. I just love to hear Jason say, "Oh, you asshole." I'm not saying that shit. I already said it. Damn it.
Hello there, glass number 4.
Moving on to number 4. All right. Oh, the nose on 4. Holy shit.
This reminds me of, like, I think the 3rd edition of Little Book. It's got a touch
the
of
one with the rice bourbon in it.
Yeah, I don't think that was the one. I think that was the 4th.
What was that 4?
No, 3 was the road home with all the barrel proof small batches in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the one right after they did the corn whiskey one, which they had a 15-year-old corn whiskey, and a 15-year-old corn whiskey will be one of the most beautiful whiskeys American whiskey drinker will ever taste, and they blended it in a fucking blend. And just like corn whiskey gets no respect, but
right.
it's good stuff when it's aged.
The Rodney Dangerfield of American whiskey.
Yeah, totally.
Corn. I mean, I don't understand why people don't respect it. I mean, primarily, your bourbon is primarily corn. So why not just go, go balls deep, go balls deep and go all corn? Who cares?
So corn whiskey has to be at least 80% corn, and it's going into used barrels, and it's a quick churn and burn, and not a lot of people are doing it. They have it's typically done when they have a surplus of corn. That's why it was historically done.
Mm-hmm.
But was never. It was the cheap man's whiskey back in the day. But this right here, this reminds me of a lot of the little book qualities that I like. There's like a brownie note in here. There's a touch of cornbread. There's some like little butter and salt and pepper. I just think this is fantastic.
I get cornbread all day on this. Totally. Joe Pastrana, him and his wife are expecting twins. Congratulations, Joe.
That is awesome.
That's awesome, man. Nice to hear that. What's a good corn whiskey on the market besides mellow corn?
Mellow corn's the obvious one.
Doesn't Balcones make one? The baby blue.
I could tell you.
Baby blue Balcones is.
Yeah, I mean, the cast strength baby blue is pretty good. I could tell you that.
So
Obtainium, guys, you guys, Matt, Gene over there, he's about to release some like 20-something-year-old, 25, 26-year-old corn whiskey. I'm sure
Canadian
that's
stuff.
yeah, I'm sure that's delicious.
I'm going to get like a case of that.
Yeah.
There's I think MB Rollin out of Western Kentucky has a really good one. It's real oily. If you're not into oily styles of whiskey, you won't like it. But if you're into rum, it has a very similar mouthfeel. And I love that. There was
Iron Root does a good one, which I think
Iron Root probably has the best one.
Yeah, Iron Root, I think. The Hubris is freaking delicious.
It's legit.
When we're discussing corn whiskey versus light whiskey, is this just like the proof that it's being distilled to? Is this going to be the biggest difference, or
what do you mean?
So I mean, corn whiskey versus light whiskey. So
light whiskey is distilled at higher proof points.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole thing about light whiskey is it was created to compete with vodka.
Right.
In the late 1960s. So vodka was kicking American whiskey's ass. It's one of the reasons why I say vodka sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, they basically distilled at higher proof. So they could distill to 170 proof, which is 27 proof points lower. They can distill to 180 proof, which is 10 points lower than vodka. And so they're stripping out more character. And then they were putting it in used barrels. And they thought that technique would yield enough flavor, or reduce enough flavor that it could still make a good screwball. They were completely wrong. The market rejected it, and a lot of companies just completely shifted their whiskey decisions based on that. And at Brown-Forman, if you mentioned their light whiskey in the hallways, you'd get fired. That's how bad it was. I mean, people lost their jobs over this. It was they put so much money into it, and it was an absolute failure. But they're very, very so now light whiskey is basically a blending agent in Canadian whiskeys.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're meant to be corn whiskey will be very flavorful in the grain perspective. Light whiskey will be very alcohol-y.
Because light whiskey was pretty much abandoned. Is that why we're seeing so much of the high-aged corn whiskey kind of being used today?
So on the light whiskey side, you're seeing a lot of it come up because MGP has ran out of 5 years ago they started running out of rye to sell to people.
Yeah.
And they ran out of bourbon to sell people. And so they just started convincing people that light whiskey was good, and they would people wanted to bottle something. And I mean, that's the truth of it. And come to find out, some of the stuff is actually pretty good. And it was being used in like the blends for like Seagrams and Crown. And so you did have things that were flavorful there. And, I think light whiskey can be good at really older stocks. I do question how they get proofed sometimes.
Yeah.
They're really nice at between 107 and 120. When you drop it down any lower or it's any higher, somehow the alcohol just feels more apparent. And like I don't like tasting alcohol. I like tasting, nuance of grains and the barrel and so forth.
But you're not much of an oak fan though, as far as like there's some properties of oak that
oak is important, and oak is a great tasting element, but oak cannot be the dominant thing. When you taste a mouthful of oak and then you get chocolate, that's where you have a problem. When you taste chocolate first and then a hint of oak, that's where it's great. So like,
I agree.
Redemption put out a bourbon that was 35 years old, and it happens sometimes. You have these barrels that are in the warehouse for a long time. It was so bad. I had to like scrape my tongue for 2 days to get the taste of wood off of it. It was so awful.
Actually, that's where I think where the light whiskeys, the ones that actually come out that I tasted that are special, are the ones that actually have an oak presence in it. You get that nice balance of sweet and some oak in it. It's not just all candy corn and sugar. You get a little bit of oak in there. Some of the old Carters you could find that in, which make them pretty good.
Yeah, they're not sending out They're not sending out, stuff on the scrap pile.
Yeah.
They're sending out good barrels. And the thing about light whiskey, the way it evolved was into a blending agent. So I get more excited when I see light whiskey in a blend than I see it when it's like straight. And I think that's where it can really lie. And that also will help people bring their price points down because, you're not spending the same kind of money on light whiskey at the wholesale level that you are bourbon.
Correct.
Have you guys smelled number 5 yet?
No, but quick question for Fred. Speaking of corn whiskey, have you ever tried Navazos, Palazzi, Palo Cortado single barrel?
I have not. I'll have to check that out.
How did you say that so quickly and elegantly without messing it up?
Well, I mean, I learned Italian and Spanish growing up, so.
I learned not that. So.
I learned redneck Oklahoman, which worked out really well when I moved to Kentucky.
Yeah. So basically, you just say "some bitch" to any question.
Some bitch. Woo!
So that could be the response for anything. Just some bitch. Okay.
The color on glass 5 matches the nose.
Is ridiculous.
So I asked Fred the oak question after I smelled glass 5 because I wanted to get his opinion. I wonder how far we differ on this.
Yeah.
Well, on the nose, the oak is definitely there, but it's almost like
thanks, Derek.
It's almost like a kilning process of the oak. It's not like raw. It's not walking into Lowe's, right? It's being in a cooperage. It's walking into a warehouse. And it's not. It's there, and it's very prominent, but it's not over dominant. And so on the nose, I like where the oak is on this one.
Yeah.
This reminds me of a real log cabin. You ever been in a real log cabin in winter, fireplaces going? This is like wood. This is what that smells like to me. It reminds me of a cold Michigan log cabin. You walk in and take off your boots and you're like, oh, let's warm up with this.
I want to say hi to Bourbon for Bacon. I want to say hi to, I think, the Bourbon Wrench is in the house. I think the Grease is in the house.
Okay. Chat just got a little bit dumber.
What's up, the Grease from the podcast? Definitely, guys, go check them out if you have not yet. For Matt, are you a fan of the 291 Distillery since you live in Colorado? What are your favorites?
So they sent me some samples that I need to get into a couple more. They're so unique. The aspen stave or the aspen finish that they put on those things.
Yeah,
it's wild.
It is.
And it really surprised me that I've been watching a lot of Fred's interviews that he's been doing with some of the musicians and things like that. It really surprised me that how much a regular person loves 291 because that aspen is so specific and so to me it's just so different. But maybe to somebody who is not familiar with just tasting whiskey, that maybe that flavor is just more gentle. I don't know. It's different to me. It's something I have to learn to like more and more. But I do enjoy it. It's just way different.
Yeah. It is a fascinating flavor profile, and more times than not, my guess it'll be their favorite. Like Perez Hilton, love that one over old Rip Van Winkle, which that's not saying a lot because he basically nearly threw up on every sip.
That's a great interview, by the way.
But there's so many people like that like 291, and 291 supports the show, and I send bottles to guests, and they I just had one with actually I just did an interview with Clay Walker yesterday, the country singer, and his favorite of what I sent him was the Seal Box, Blake Reiber's
the maple thing one.
Yeah,
really.
He loved that one.
Okay. Yeah. Quick update, guys. The fundraiser is up to $7,175.
What?
If you guys are sending super chats, I really, really appreciate it. But if you want to donate if you want to send some money into the chat, click the link that's pinned at the top of the chat and donate to the GoFundMe for your chance to win one of 20-something bottles we have. Pop 'em, Don't Watch 'em just added an epic sample pack as well. So we'll keep going. So thank you so much, guys. Let's see here. GoFundMe over 7K. There you go. All right.
No, I wanted to say too, Fred, that Perez Hilton interview was actually, I went into it expecting to turn it off. And I listened to the whole, no, seriously, I was just like, because I knew that he wasn't going to like the stuff just because of what I heard going into it.
Yeah.
But I listened to the whole thing because it was more about like generational things and like how influencers have changed, and just it was a really good interview, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, his whole point about wanting, he personally helped me because he talked about like how he is like, if one thing goes away, he'll be somewhere, something else, and like, I'm in the media world, and the media world's totally changing. Like I thought I was going to be a magazine editor, to be honest with you. Like YouTube, I've been very candid about this over the years. I mean, to me, like the end game for my career, everything where I retire and just kind of go off and get my watch, and was being an owner of a magazine and an editor. And then COVID hits, everything changes, and I'm forced to like figure out how to make a living. I went from being a magazine editor and promoting shows with Foo Fighters to nothing. And I had to put so much into YouTube and my podcasts. And I say it all the time, but my YouTube community saved my ass. They saved my ass. Like, not just, giving me, a financial incentive, but like, my soul, this is where my soul is. This is where my heart is. And I'm still adjusting to being in like these new areas of media, because I still see and think of myself as a writer. And that interview was a big moment for me, because he was the guy. He is the guy when it comes to celebrities. I would never want to cover celebrities like that, but he was the guy. And that was just a very fundamental, very important kind of like, it is the last person in the world I thought would give me the kind of advice that I needed to hear at the time. So, but, and then he has, it was very moving in a lot of ways. And the one I just did with Clay Walker, he just talked about his, we spent probably 15 minutes talking about God, never saw that coming. He started, never saw conversations about religion coming up, but, it was interesting.
And
it's
then
interesting.
there was Ludacris.
And then there was Ludacris. Man, this is good.
And then there was Luda.
Oh man.
Oh, dude. I never know what to expect when the celebrities come on and talk to you about whiskey. One of my favorite artists in the world that you interviewed was Emerson Hart.
Oh yeah.
Who's a really good dude. I got to talk to him a few times. He obviously doesn't know who I am, or at the time I was probably just some crazy, fangirl wanted to talk to him. But I've always been a huge fan of the band Tonic, in my earlier years. And obviously he branched off and made 3 solo albums, which just connected with me, personally. So when you had him on, I was like, holy shit, he's talking to Emerson Hart. So that was a really cool interview that you did.
He's a great dude. Who's your favorite artist? Who's your favorite artist?
Just like as far as like singer songwriter, Emerson Hart is right up there.
Wow.
I mean, my favorite band for many years was Rush. So
okay.
Yeah,
I think they're all sober. I think the remaining members there are all sober. I can't.
Yeah, they don't really drink anymore.
I can't interview sober artists. They got me in trouble once. So.
But
I don't get that. How'd you get in trouble?
Well, I offer to not drink with people, but then they listen to it and they hear alcohol ads, or they see alcohol everywhere, and they get upset that there's alcohol ads on an alcohol normal podcast. So it works out. It doesn't work out so well. But Matt, who's your favorite artist? What's your jam?
I don't know. There's a guy who painted a little kid peeing in a bucket that was over our toilet when I was a child. I don't know who he is though, But he must have been a great artist because I just loved that picture.
I mean,
the
that
painting.
sounds,
And it's been reused on my car as it's a little kid wearing a Mets jersey peeing on the Yankees logo.
I also like Kesha.
oh yeah. I put a request into her a long time ago, but
I don't know. You know what?
Silver.
You get the question all the time. I listen to all types of music.
Yeah.
But I ask myself if I really have to get down to it, if I could see one band in concert, who would I go see? I'd go watch the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I've always loved Red Hot Chili Peppers. So
for me, it's definitely probably Emerson Hart. I'm a huge Killers fan. I love the Killers. Listen to them a lot. I'm kind of in the camp with I always listen to Pearl Jam and some of those other groups. So pretty. I go through like phases. So
okay.
Yep. I'm always afraid to mention people that I like.
Oh yeah.
Foo Fighters. I have no idea if one of them did anything terrible that I'm not sure about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Now.
Yeah, Foo Fighters is a big favorite of mine that I like to listen to a lot as well. So plus, any band with a good drummer, Tool, all those guys.
So if you're a fan of Tool, you will like an upcoming episode.
Oh,
really?
I won't say who, but
I heard that episode's going to be the Schism. Boom.
The Schism.
Good joke. The Schism.
You're gonna drink whiskey and smoke opiate?
Maybe drink a little wine. A little wine.
Oh. Mm. So we've never really talked about Glass 5, and
I'm loving Glass 5.
Thank you for keeping us on cue here.
Yeah, thanks for
Glass 5. We haven't talked about, but it deserves to be talked about because I think, and personally, I have a new leader in the clubhouse. This is
fantastic.
Yeah. Whatever blend this is, took advice from Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire, possibly the old Barry Bonds in the steroid era. Really knocking it out of the park.
So you're saying number 5 is juiced?
It's something.
Yeah, number 5 has this beautiful sweet oak, rounded with there's like a dusty little bit of a funk going on in it, and it's fucking delicious. And it's also very sweet at the same time.
I also get the same note I got on Glass 1 with like the tannins from a Jack Daniels sort of thing.
Yeah, but I feel like it's different though.
Yeah, it is. It just does it better.
Yeah, it's sweeter a little bit. It's not so much of that dry tannic oak as it is like sweet aged oak.
I feel like whoever blended Glass 5 actually just poured something from a bottle into a sample jar.
It's one bottle. Here's my blend. This.
That smells so good. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'll have to go back to my other favorites, but I do like this a lot.
$8,040 on the GoFundMe. Holy shit. Sosa looks like Frankenberry now.
That's one of Jason's favorite cereals.
That's my favorite cereal, man. I love Frankenberry. I have some upstairs still left over from Halloween.
Yeah, 5 is something I feel like I've tasted a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Jason, this tastes kind of like my blend from last year. It reminds me a lot of it.
I can see that. I feel like, though, yours was a little bit more cherry, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I don't have any of those ingredients anymore, so I can't recreate it. But
I remember
when I blended that last year, Jason, I texted you and I said, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
I was like, I can't stop laughing. This is so good. Like I could never have this luck again. But
dude, your blend last year was the perfect balance of like sweet oak finish. It had everything, honestly.
So are you saying it's better than everything we've tasted so far?
Matt's blend or number 5?
Yeah, Matt's blend.
It's been too long. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I wish I had some of it left. I drank all that shit.
It was a Knob Creek single barrel.
Yeah,
it's a 15-year Knob Creek single barrel, so it really can't be recreated at all. mixed with a young Redwood Empire, the American whiskey that was port finished.
Oh yeah.
And then some Wild Turkey.
What was the base?
Which surprised the hell out of me because I did not like the Knob Creek 15 years that I had. You had a single. You're talking about a single barrel you had, Matt.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, never mind. I'm talking about the small. I hated the small batch, the Knob Creek 15. With this $5, I double my chance of winning. I mean, double my charity. Thanks to all three of you for entertaining and informative videos. Donated. Go Pirates! Pirates. All right.
Is that an Eastern Carolina fan?
Johnny Depp fan.
Russia's
Go Cowboys making a run for the championship.
Oh dang, 6 is good too. Smelling. I haven't tasted it yet.
Yeah.
6 smells really good.
6 smells really good.
I'm a firm believer in the concept that the more great bourbon you drink, the better it gets as you continue to drink it.
Yeah, it's almost interesting because you think about the order that these are in. If if these were in a different order, if we'd get different, type of ranking here, but
well, I just say that the palate does not match the nose.
It does not.
6. Woo.
As Fred would say, it's no Black Prince.
Referring to Whistle Pig's fine
your
a few years ago.
Your Bourbon Up interview.
Bourbon Up. David D says, I love you guys all the way from Hawaii. I wish I didn't have to pay the prices for good whiskey. 3 of my favorite whiskey tubers, great content, even better cause. Thank you, Sippy Cup. Appreciate that, man. 620 in the chat.
Woo.
Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with us tonight.
Rock and roll.
That's right, for this amazing cause tonight. December 1st, kicking it off. If I don't get a chance to see you guys again, happy holidays. And again, thank you so much for hanging out tonight and donating to the cause, which is right now at a total of $8,315. Holy shit.
Boom.
Boomity boom, boomity boom, boom, boom. What's up? What's up, Grinch? You having a good time? All right. Making sure.
Jason, what are you going to do next one? Have even more entries?
Last one smells a lot better than I recall.
Say again, Maddie.
What are you going to do next year when you have like 100 entries?
I don't know. I might have to get just more judges involved. I can't drink all this shit myself. Oh my god.
My favorite part about Blendageddon is watching Jason lead up to the finals, because I'm like, oh, Jason's starting out great, and now he's shit faced and trying to contain it, and
so trying to contain. And honestly, dude, I don't feel anything until I walk up those stairs and get to my living room, and I sit on the couch, and then everything goes blammy.
You start giggling pretty hard, about
is that my tell, the giggle?
Yeah, I think so. Get a little giggly.
I get a little. I feel like when I start doing stupid impressions was when I start feeling it.
Oh, you're like, this is Kermit the Frog 3 hours into a live stream.
Yeah, this is Kermit the Frog after 5 40-ounce Molsons. So. All right. I like 6. I have no issue with 6.
Wow, what the heck?
I do think the nose does not match the palate, but I don't mind the palate either.
Well, you can like it all day long, but it ain't getting my vote.
It's a little sour almost.
Yeah, a little bitter, like a little barrel bitter almost.
Yeah.
If you go from if you go from 6 and you nose 1, does nose 1 smell like a matchstick, like a sulfur, a little bit of like just blew out a matchstick?
Like after you did some business in the latrine, one of those.
That's why I think 1 has a note that I get in a lot of sherry casks. So I feel like if there's a finished whiskey, I think there's sherry cask in here.
Isn't that a common note on some red wine finished products? Is like sulfur.
The sulfur, yeah. I mean,
Because I'm picking that up huge on glass 1 now.
There's something sulfur. It could be. There's like an old, like fruity funk to it. I don't know, man. There's something really weird in one, but I don't mind it. I'm not.
Are we in the elimination phase now?
I think so. I think we could start kind of putting some glasses aside.
Does that mean I'm getting kicked out?
Yeah.
No,
I don't belong. I mean, obviously, I don't belong here.
You and your beautiful sweater vest are staying.
Do we just unanimously kick out 2?
Yeah, 2 100% is not Black Prince.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to?
Yeah, I'm kicking out 2.
I think there's enough interest in 1 to keep it. You know?
1 and 3, and those first 3 are kind of my favorites. I really dig 3 a lot.
I thought 4 was really good too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would definitely eliminate 2 and 5. 2 and 6 immediately would be gone.
2 and 6 are so out.
All right, 2 and 6 are out.
But I know you liked it. You like 6, so we can say it.
Yeah, but I don't like 6 as much as the ones that we have left.
Yeah.
So I'm with you.
The nose on it was fantastic.
Yeah, awesome nose, but unfortunately did not translate to the palate, especially coming off the other ones we just tried.
Dave Friedman's asking in the chat, what is Matt's tail? And watching a lot of his videos, I don't think he has a tail.
Oh, hey, Fred. I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh, let's pick the bone.
Oh, let's pick that bone.
RepealDayExpo.com.
Did I spell your name wrong?
Oh no. The picture you chose, so whoever chose the picture.
I saw that picture.
Hold on, we used whatever you sent us.
You certainly didn't.
All right, well, I will plead the wasn't me case here.
On Thanksgiving, I was scrolling through the website and I showed my wife, and she was legitimately mad. I was like,
I saw that picture of LinkedIn. Matt, submit that photo.
All right, let me take a look at this photo.
I look like I just ran a 5K.
Everybody go to
300 degree heat, and I was shit faced.
Everybody go to Repeal Day and look at Matt's photo.
Oh boy! Oh,
I sent Fred a picture of me in a sweater vest like this.
There. You know, I think this is one when we didn't get your bio in time. We had to. Yeah. I don't think we updated it since you sent us. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. I'll have them update that. But you do kind of look sweaty. You look sweaty.
And I was sweaty. I was in Hartford shooting videos in a very poorly air-conditioned apartment in the middle of the night. And
but I mean, it's not a bad photo. It's a pretty good photo. I mean, we had worse.
Like I'm watching like Chad's picture and Sarah's picture and Jason's picture, and then there's me. And I'm like, oh God. And normally I don't care what I look like.
You know, I hope have you all ever spent any time with Chuck Cowdery?
No.
I've seen him I've been in the presence of his interviews, but I haven't talked to him.
So Chuck is one of my dearest friends, and mentored me. And it's so funny.
This is Matt's picture.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you put it up there.
It's almost like a sultry, like
sweaty,
Fuggy and Mutta, fuck your train type look he's got.
I don't know. Now that I look at it, I kind of want to keep it there because it looks. I think it actually looks good. I mean, I kind of like that photo.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you got a much better look now, of course.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's just me joking. It's just funny. That's funny. Oh.
And by the way, here I'll put the link in one more time if you would like to get free tickets to the Repeal Day.
Absolutely. Repeal Day.
You guys, we definitely want to see you hanging out at Repeal Day in Deggy World, hanging out.
So, all right. We'll get that fixed, Matt.
Yeah.
No, it's way too late. It's totally fine. Don't worry. Hey, Fred, honestly, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal.
Okay, good, because I'm going to leave it there then.
Good.
I kind of like it. I kind of dig it.
Was not.
It's kind of one of those things where it's like, why did that get changed? Oh, Matt's a diva.
All right,
No.
so let's go through this. As you know, we have our top 4 here. If we had to rate noses on these from best to worst,
Yeah.
let's try to do that first, and then this way we can help start narrowing it down to the top 2, and then pick our champion.
Yeah, because I think we kicked out, to that point, we kicked out the products that the nose didn't match the palate or vice versa. So
Yeah.
I think that's a good elimination technique.
Yep.
Ooh, I got a little bit of peanut butter I didn't get on 4 the first time.
4 has a tremendous nose. My nose order goes from best to worst, 5, 4, 3, 1.
I am 5, 4, 1, 3. 1's nose, or I'm sorry, 5's nose is exceptional.
Yeah, 5's nose is ridiculous. I'm all over 5's nose, whatever the hell that one is. That one's amazing.
I'm all over whatever. I don't even know anything about what 5 identifies as, but I'm all over whatever it's got. Hard. It is great.
I'm not sure. Yeah, between this is 1 and then this is 3. Between 1 and 3, it's a tough call. Like, do I want that mustiness that 1 has, that little bit of fruitiness, or that really nice kind of that floral yet sweet yet fruity type of profile that 3 has? I think I'm gonna have to lean 3. So I might be with Matt here, going 5, 4, 3, 1 for the nose.
Could I challenge you for a taste off where we taste 1 and 3 to figure out who gets the boot?
Well, yeah, as far as tasting, yeah, we have to now go through the taste.
Now, okay. All right.
Look how organized I am.
I thought you were about to kick out 1 because it didn't smell good.
Oh no, I'm not kicking them 1 out. I'm just saying between the 4.
I've been ranking and rating the entire time. I'm taking this so seriously that I put on an extra layer of clothing.
You did, man. Look at you with your sweater vest and your plaid shirt underneath.
When I mean business, I mean business.
I dig that.
When I need to talk to a manager somewhere, this is what I wear.
Ooh, man. All right. So you guys want to put, how do you guys want to do this? You want to do 1 and 3, kind of do a versus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's really that close. I think 3's I'm not sure if it's a proof thing. Or the finish on 3 is ridiculous compared to 1.
That's what's getting me on 3. 3's finish goes on for days.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say this, that 1 is a personal. It's hitting a lot of those things I like on a personal level. But when I put my critic hat on and not my kicking my legs up and sitting by the fire hat on, it simply does not hit as many points on the tongue as 3 does. 1 is a very kind of like center focused on the palate whiskey, whereas 3 gets you right here, moves front, moves back, curls up underneath, tickles a little bit on the top. I mean, 3's got a lot of palate movement. Where 3 falls, I think, is what we're going to see between 4 and 5. Is 3 is not going to have the finish to compare to those 2 behemoths. But I think it's it's not an easy choice for me. But I think that 1 does get the boot here in a comparative tasting to see how many points on the palate that 3 gets.
Yeah, I do not disagree. I love 1. I love all the obviously 1 made it through for a reason. I love what 1 brings to the table. But yeah, you compare it against 3. It's just missing a few layers of nuance and interesting type of, just in the overall experience of drinking. 3 brings way more of the spice, a little bit more.
Right.
I feel like it's creamier, it's richer, and the finish on 3 is going on for days. So
I also think when you reveal the blends, 1 might be a victim of lower proof as well. It could possibly be.
And Matt, I think that 1 is going to be something that we can obtain.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be anything in 1 that's like magical. I think it's going to be, everyday whiskeys. I think whoever blended 1 showed exceptional talent here.
Mm-hmm.
I might even say, like, if I'm a brand going to market, I may say I would want to go to market with 1 because I can make more money with that one.
Yeah, you could.
But like, just hats off to whoever blended it, because it's fantastic. But at the end of the day, I think the people who put stuff in their whiskey had a little bit more arsenal than.
Well, we're gonna find out who blended 1. So we're gonna find out who. So
I like 1 a lot. It just falls short on the.
Hey, Bev Porter, what's going on?
That's my mama.
Yeah, Mama's watching. How you doing, Bev?
Hi, Mom. Love you. I'm here live with Fred Minnick. It's weird.
You raised a good boy. You raised a good boy.
Bev Porter, you done good. You done. Look at that sweater vest, Bev. All right, so we're gonna eliminate 1 at this point.
Let's do it.
All right, 1's out, 3's in, and now we go to what's left here: 4 and 5.
3, 4, 5. Yeah. Or wait, did we eliminate?
We eliminated 1.
1, 2, and 6 they've been eliminated.
Yeah,
so
1, 2, and 6.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 6 have been eliminated.
All right.
They gone.
And now we're down to the final 3. Oh, it's getting good. All right, so a quick update, guys. The donations, $8,610.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's some coin.
That's
awesome.
crazy. That's fucking insane. Thank you guys so much. Again, if you have not donated to the St. Jude Children's Hospital yet, click the link that's pinned in the chat above. You can donate there. Every $5 gets you an entry to win 1 of 23, 24, 25 bottles, plus a few sample packs that are in there. So go for it. So thank you so much. Whiskey Mountain says 9,208, including super chats after the YouTube cut. So Adriana's doing the math. Holy shit. Let's get to that 10,000 mark, guys. Let's do it.
Glass 3 reminds me a lot of a Buffalo Trace product. Real sweet, real cherry. A nice, like a vanilla sweet oak, cherry oak.
Yep. I don't know. Number 3 is still like, yeah.
I am very, what you would consider to be guilty, and by you I mean me, what I would consider to be guilty of confusing MGP with Buffalo Trace quite often, though. But 3 reminds me of like a Stag Junior with something. I hate trying to. I do this. Fred, you don't do this, and I'm jealous of it. Fred doesn't try to figure out what he's drinking.
Yeah, 3.
And to me, it's like after doing the World Stop Whiskey Taster thing, it's like second nature to me, where I'm like, this tastes like this or smells like this.
So 3 was the one that I said that reminded me of like if Four Roses toasted one of their barrels. That's what 3 tasted like, because it's got a little bit of florality to it, but it's got a lot of sweetness, and then it's got this long crazy finish that I usually get with Four Roses, especially if you're talking about like an OESK or OBSK.
The 3 hit, to that point, Matt, that was trained to me very early when I was at San Francisco in Steve Beals, one of my mentors, is fighting pancreatic cancer right now. Just a beautiful human being, an incredible whiskey taster. He's in the Whiskey Hall of Fame. I was at this, it's 2012, 2013. I'm at this panel with all of these like icons and spirits, and I'm this like, fresh faced noob, and I'm just sitting there trying to impress and guess what things were. And it's funny, like I actually picked out a lot of the bourbons. I did. And he stopped me right in the middle of it. He said, "You need to stop doing that right now because you're not giving the glass the attention it deserves, and you're trying to like stroke your own ego to find out if you can find it." And he's like, if you just focus on what's in the glass instead of trying to focus on what's in the, what it could be, you will taste this as objectively as you possibly can. So when you go down a road of trying to figure out what something is in a blind tasting, whether you know it or not, you could bring in some of your own personal feelings or subjectiveness to it. So it is something to root out. I mean, there are times to try and guess what you're tasting. There are times for that. But in a competition, it's very, very important that you try to block it, because you could be tasting something and like, that's Maker's Mark. I know it's Maker's Mark. And then you reveal the cover and it's like, oh, it's not Maker's Mark, and then you like, and it's like everything just kind of changes. So yeah, I mean you don't kid yourself. You're doing just fine. So
no, I realize when I'm doing it, which is kind of the problem. But it just sometimes when I smell something, it just reminds me of something else. But somebody says, is Adam Hinson, anyone think Matt being sick is affecting his palate? I'm not sick anymore, really. I shot my first Advent video over a week ago. Okay. So
there you go.
I'm back to normal, and we're in agreement on a lot of things. So it's not like I'm.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, you're not.
No, I think the only thing that we disagreed on was 6. Jason liking 6, and we said, Matt and I combined said, "Fuck your 6." So
well, I love the nose on it. Just the palate was.
Yeah, I didn't hate 6 the palate, but yeah, the palate did not live up to what the nose was. So I agree with that assessment. Julie Like is here. How you doing, Julie?
Julester.
Nice to see you, Jules. Also, I want to say hi to, let's see here, Whiskey Nose. The Bourbon Junkies just jumped in. I don't know if that's Dan or Sean, probably Dan. But thanks for dropping in, man. Appreciate it. And who's not wearing pants is another big question. All right.
Swim trunks.
All right. Well, I'm going to go back to number 4 here.
I'll tell you what. After doing this 3 tastes with our 3 finalists, I think I have a clear-cut winner. But I definitely know what I'm kicking out next, and I don't want to, give you all any thought. But I know where I'm going with what I'm kicking out next.
Man, 4 is oaky and vanilla, real on the nose. It's real, man.
Oh. God, I love 5. Holy shit.
5's pretty nice.
5 is so good. 5 is so good. Hey, Cliffy from Bourbon Bites is here. What is going on, man? Donald Rance, Whiskey Yoda. How are you? Big Vic is here. Women of Whiskeys. I think you guys are going live after us. Man. So you have
what's weird? I've had a change of heart after tasting and smelling through these.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I think I have my top 2.
I did too.
Well, then I have a top 3 because
you're not gonna kick any of these out.
Well, no, I'm just saying I have a top 3. Okay. Oh, so we're gonna kick one out and then taste the top 2 against each other?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you think you think you can narrow it down to 2, Maddie?
Well, if I have a top 3, then absolutely I can narrow it down to 2.
Yeah. All right, Fred, who are you kicking out?
I'm kicking out 4.
So am I. Yes.
Oh.
I'm kicking out 4, and I'm keeping 5, and I'm keeping 3. Those are my top
5 and 3.
Yep, 5 and 3.
That's what I was gonna say.
Were you though?
It's between 3 and 5, I suppose.
Who are you going to kick out initially, Maddie?
3.
Really?
Yeah.
3 came on strong for me. It came on strong.
It's the finish on 3 is keeping me interested.
Yeah.
That's
it's an epic finish. It really is. It's just kind of it curls for me. It curls up right underneath that tongue and just sits.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Maddie got a little bit outvoted there, but now we're down to our final 2.
Well, it's fine because it's just we're down to the top 2 now.
Yeah, we're down to our top 2.
We already know Matt's number 1 because he was going to kick out 3, and 3's in the running. So his vote's going to be for 5.
He's going to be 5. And I mean, I got to tell you, man, I'm really leaning towards 5 too. But it's going to come down to, and what's funny about 3 and 5 is they're totally different. Totally different blends.
3 has a real strong, like, cinnamon stick on the nose that I'm just picking up now, like an apple cinnamon. But
let's see, what do we got here? We are at $9,145 in the GoFundMe. Holy shit! You guys are bringing it, man. This is the whiskey community, guys. 650 in the chat. Thank you so much for everybody hanging out tonight and donating. What's great about this is when the night is over tomorrow, all that money is going to go right to St. Jude. So thank you so much, everybody.
I know where I'm going.
I've made my decision, and I have a reason for it. So it's not just because I like one more than the other, but honestly, it's because I like one more than the other 2.
I love the effort that everybody put into to tonight. Every blend is here. We are trying to raise money for St. Jude. Well, people do put they put a little bit of something on the line here. They're not only putting on their whiskeys, but they're going to get shown before the world in terms of who did the best. And we've got the reigning champion here. I think we have something that is exceptional on this table, and it's one of those that it took me a minute to really appreciate how exceptional it was. And you taste it first, and you go through that process, and you're just basically like in that elimination zone. Like that's where my mind is. That first tasting is like, am I keeping it or am I eliminating? I'm not truly appreciating it in that first time frame. But when we get in that second phase, there's a lot more appreciation. And then when we get to this final one, I mean, I think what I have picked as my winner personally is an exceptional, truly beautiful whiskey that would compete for whiskey of the year in any competition.
I don't disagree. They're both tremendous in their own rights.
Yep.
So it's actually between 5, 3, and 4. I know you guys kicked out 4, but I thought 4 was tremendous, and it's like what it did was really good as well. But like honestly, whichever one wins, there's no loser between 5 and 3. They're both just ridiculously good.
Yeah.
But they're different. They are very different. The 3 I get it kind of like goes through a couple stages for me. And the final stage for me personally is something that in my brain I can't love, but it's very, very good. So I think five for me is my favorite. 3 is really close, but it's the runner up for me anyway.
So before Fred goes, I everything you articulated right there, Matt, I completely agree with. 3 is delicious. It hits all the spots that I'm looking for in a bourbon experience. It's got a lot of sweetness up front. It's got a very layered flavor profile as you're tasting it. The finish goes on for days. I like a very, very long finish, and 3 has that. But I feel like 5 has it too, but it's a different flavor profile, but it's even a little bit more amped up. And also on 5, there's like a little bit of like a funk on it. You take that type of flavor profile and you give it that long finish. Now every time I go back to 5, I'm getting something different. It's evolving.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite part of it. So 5 for me, I think is the winner.
Well, it's funny because I picked 5 too. And it was something that, when I first smelled it, I kind of had a feeling. And when I tasted it, I kind of knew. But I just, like I said, I put it over here as like, okay, it's going to stay. And then I went through the cycle of like, what am I going to eliminate? But it is quite simply a beautiful, beautiful combination of aged distillate. And I can't wait to find out what it is. I cannot wait.
It's funny because when we were initially tasting and nosing number 5, we were in the middle of a different conversation.
Yeah.
And I was like, in my head, I'm like, I don't know what these guys think of this because we weren't talking about the pour. But in the back of my head, I'm like, I need to know. Because to me, the nose, it was a ridiculous blend. So good.
And and really, in a lot of ways, this is the truest form of a proper whiskey judging tasting, because it's 3 friends, chatting, and other things come on, but we're all professionals here, and you go back into the moment. But I think conversation with friends helps me in sometimes, like tonight. When I'm doing like YouTube stuff and like live streams and everything, it's fun, but this is way better because I'm doing it with friends,
Yeah.
And I know your asses didn't influence me on this, and I know I didn't influence Jason or Matt. So we all legitimately unanimously picked 5. Think about that.
I have a Jason, call on me.
Go ahead, Matt. You're on the mic. What do you got?
Fred, are we professional friends or are we friends?
Yeah, we're friends. I mean, where do you want to go with this relationship, Matt? I mean, I'm not going to take a shower with you if that's what you're wanting to know.
I feel like you guys need to snuggle up while drinking number 5.
I mean,
no, listen.
I'm just telling you, I'm not a cuddler. I'm not that kind of guy. So, if you want to cuddle, wrong guy.
I'm terrible at resumes and stuff like that. Cover letters, not great.
Fred,
but friends with Fred Minnick, it's going to make the cut.
Fred, you couldn't cuddle that beautiful man below? Come on.
Look at him.
With the sweater vest and everything?
I can't do the cuddle. I have never been a cuddler. I mean,
Fred reminds me a lot of my wife. He's like, you know what? I enjoy what you do, but leave me alone. 6 feet. I mean, social distance.
It's not a bad thing. It's just like, we like space.
Oh my God, guys! Real quick, as you're taking your space, I just want to give a quick update. $10,680 going to St. Jude right now. Come on! Holy
That's
shit.
Crazy.
Oh my God. whiskey community, I can't even. I have no word.
Beautiful.
Every time it's time to step up, you guys step up. We are. This is for Sherry G. Thank you so much. We cannot wait to donate this money. Thank you guys so much. This is amazing. Yeah. Beth Porter is smiling from ear to ear. Is anybody a spooner? Yeah, no spooning.
You know, the whole thing about like space, like I never knew why I would keep breaking up with my girlfriends, and I was like, why? And because they'd be perfect, everybody would love them, and I was just like, why do I keep breaking up with them? Like I don't know, they're kind of like perfect, and they would always be, you know, when I'd find out, when you figure out who you are, you know, you figure there are things you figure out, right? And my wife is perfect for me. Like we don't need to like always be touching each other or anything like that. It's like hey, and then we talk and we'll talk about like Star Trek and stars and weird shit and like theories on like Aztecs and like the next end of the world theory, you know. So it's when you figure out what kind of space you like in your partner, you know,
like
or
Deep
what kind of
Space Nine.
No, so Deep Space Nine, huge fan. Actually, I was not the biggest fan of the
Next
Captain.
Generation.
Next Generation. It was all right. My favorite was Voyager. I was a huge Voyager fan.
Oh, really? You're a Voyager fan?
Yeah, huge Voyager fan. I love Captain Janeway. She's my favorite captain of all the captains.
All right, got the donations, got the winning blend. Now we need to smash the like button. Yes, everybody hit the like button.
Heck yeah.
All right, guys. We have a winner.
Go back to 5.
Are we calling number 5 the winner here?
Yeah. Matt, Jason, do you smell a little bit of a dusty in there?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's got like a dusty funk on it. I've been calling that from the beginning. There's something just different about it. And it's nutty. So it's reminding me of like either like a Knob Creek or like not Knob Creek, but like a Beam, Heaven Hill type thing.
I told you this reminds me of my blend from last year, which was an old Knob Creek, some port finished younger whiskey, and then there was a little bit of turkey in there, which actually made it way better. But this reminds me of that. The dusty stuff. Once you mentioned it, I can see that, but I didn't pick it up before. So it's, you know,
if this was bottled like as a release, this might be my whiskey of the year. It's that good.
It's pretty great. I'm about out of it.
It's ridiculously good.
About out of it.
I'm about out of it too, and by about I mean I'm out of it. Actually, there's a little snipper left.
All right, so it's 10:36. What I want to do is crown our winner, and then we'll start giving away some of these bottles here, including this beautiful Weller 12 that the Grinch is holding on to. This Remus one. This Remus Repeal 5, and a couple of others. We have 700 in the chat. Holy shit!
That's awesome.
Man.
Yeah.
Holy smokers!
Holy smokers! All right, Grinch, give me the envelope. Asshole, give it to me. All right, Jesus.
My heart makes up for his lack of heart.
The Grinch is still. I know his heart grew like 6 sizes, but shit, he's still a grumpy asshole most of the time.
He has a nice color to the background, though.
Yeah, doesn't he? A little green.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here we go. This is the final. All right, so let's start.
Are you going last to first?
I'm going to start with just who was eliminated in no specific order.
Okay. All right.
That makes sense.
So let's start with letter A, what we really liked, but was just missing some, what we said was some nuance to it, right?
Wait, letter A? You mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. Number one.
Okay. Yeah.
So number one is right here. We all loved it, but and Fred, I believe you said you would hire this person to blend a new whiskey for release.
I hope it's me.
As a as like a new product to put on out, for under $40. Yes. Yeah.
That was Jeffrey Whack with his
The Whack
mixtape
Attack.
blend. The Whack Attack.
Live from the Whack Cave.
Live from the Whack Cave, coming through with his blend. Dude, that blend was stellar. Jeffrey Whack. Man, this close. I just think you went up against some better blends tonight.
What was his blend?
Let's look what his blend was. Here we go.
And I
So
made
many
the comment
envelopes.
that I thought it was stuff that you could probably buy.
Right.
We hope so. Let's see what his blend was.
But then again, it's Jeffrey Whack, so who knows?
Yeah, he's got a lot. Jeffrey Whack has a good amount of bottles. So let's see what we got here.
In Whack, you would have been number 4. Number 4.
And there it is. Jeffrey Whack. What did I say was in there? Fucking sherry. So I'm in love.
Sherry baby me.
All right. Wax 2021 mixtape. Remus 5. The Mash Journey Sherry pick, which was a Backbone MGP bourbon finished in sherry casks for almost a year. 4-Gate Kelvin Collaboration 3.
Holy smokes.
Untitled Whiskey Batch 17. Clyde Mays Cast Strength, and Ezra Brooks the Chocolate Blazer, which was another Mash and Journey barrel pick.
Yeah, so I mean, pretty legit stuff there.
Pretty legit stuff.
I could recreate that.
Yeah, could
if I had Jeffrey Whack's collection.
I mean, let's think about it here. He ended up falling at number 4 and Blendageddon, so that's a big win.
Yeah, that's a big win, man.
Well, what, 4 out of how many did you have, Jason? 40 to start with?
40 what?
To start the competition.
Well, I had 20 something American whiskey blends, and I also had about 8 to 10 a world whiskey blend, which is the Scotch blends.
Well, 40 is the new 20, so I guess I'm right.
40 is the new 20. All right, let's go to the next one that was eliminated, which was we're just going to go down the list here, number 2, which was actually the winner of the World Whiskey Competition, which was Austin Bucket with the kitchen sink. I actually don't have his blend details with me right now, but I'm sure
that was the one that came in last.
Yeah, Austin, if you could send me the details via email again, let me know, and I'll read it to everybody. Let's go to number
6.
6.
Yeah.
So 6 belonged to Durell Stewart.
Oh, the
Durell's blend. So the one that we love the nose, but not so much the palate. Oh, I'm sorry. I do have Austin Bucket's blend right here. My bad. Let me read Austin's real quick first.
That's glass number 2 again.
Yep, that was back to number 2. Let's see what was in here. Austin Bucket's blend is, holy dear Lord.
A big list.
I can't even read all this. It's like 1,000 different. You guys see that list?
That's a lot, and
it's a lot. It's basically an infinity blend. I would assume.
So that explains the spikiness, like the minerality, like the sour kind of. It just when you put all that stuff together, it's really hard for it to meld really well.
Yeah, it also explains why, like when you tasted it the first time, Jason, that it was great.
Yep.
I mean, that's not a lot of time for chemically bonding. So
yeah, I think it's just as it sat, maybe it just changed. I mean, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, at least 30 different bottles in this blend, guys. This is something like we wouldn't be able to recreate, but holy shit. I mean, I see some light whiskey in here. I see some 4-grain. I see some Bardstown Bourbon Company, Smoke Wagon. There's a Mattingly in here, a Nulu. Actually, the ADHD whiskey Nulu pick is in this blend.
Ruined it. Son of a bitch.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot.
But no, it's all of these are like when you blend stuff together at home, it's hard to make something that's actually drinkable.
Yeah.
So,
all right, let's go to Durell Stewart's. Durell, I think, just messaged me what was in his blend. So he blended all Stag Junior. He blended batches 6, 7, 10, 13, 14, and 15 in hopes that tasted better than some of the natural releases.
on 6?
So Durell Stewart's blend was all Stag Junior. It was all different.
Wow, I can smell that now that I smell it.
Right? Now that you go in, you get like that crazy cherry note. Here it is.
Wow, yeah, that is.
I could see that being. It's medicinal cherry in 6.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Wow. But I think the nose is better than the palate.
Mm-hmm.
Totally on 6.
You know what? That's pretty good though.
It is pretty damn good.
Not gonna lie.
All right, so let's go to now. Let's see. We did 1, 2. We did 6. Let's go to 4, which is the one that ADHD Whiskey really enjoyed. I mean, we really liked it too, but I felt like it fell short. Number 4 goes to Adam Hinson with the Dirty Rag.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. Adam Hinson. I don't
Came
think
in
I
at number
have
3.
I don't think I have your proportions either. Adam, if you want to message me real quick what your components were. Oh, he did already. All right. 50% ECBP B521, which is my favorite batch last year. 40% Maker's Mark 46 cast strength. And then 10% Henry Mckenna 10-year.
Huh.
That's actually something you could replicate.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So, guys, real quick for the Dirty Rag, ECBP B521, that's 50% of the blend. 40% goes to Maker's Mark cast strength, and 10% a little Henry McKenna 10. So that's a fun blend to play with, especially if you have some different McKenna single barrels can vary. If you have a really good one, it could be pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, this is that was great. Yeah.
So who are the 2 remaining competitors?
Poor Fred is always blamed for ruining.
I've been blamed for ruining many things. McKenna at the top, yes.
Is McKenna like the top? Do you think McKenna's the top that you've been blamed for ruining?
Well, originally it was Weller 12-year-old.
Yeah.
That was like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Then McKenna. Yeah, McKenna's probably the most prominent one.
Yeah.
When Rare Breed went on allocation in Kentucky, that did not go over well for me. But fortunately, Kentucky like increased their reach out here. But it's like, I mean, there was a good 6-month stretch. I couldn't go out in public with somebody yelling at me. And that was real. So
here's Adam right here. He said, I made it by mistake one night and was like, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That was very good. All right. So that leaves 2 more blenders, guys. It is down to Todd Ritter with his blend named Heaven and Hill and William Davilar with My Own Private Idaho.
Oh.
And think about this, fellas. I mean, we're talking about the best, like the top 2.
The top 2 from 20-something fucking blends.
Yeah.
So let's go with our second place, which was number 3, right?
So good. So good.
So damn good. William Davilar, which means the winner of Blendageddon 2021 is Todd Ritter with Heaven and Hill.
Congratulations.
Let's give him a big congrats, guys. Todd Ritter.
Now, what's the blend? We all want to make it.
I know we got it. Let's find out what Will's was first, which is My Own Private Idaho. That was the second place one.
That's a great name.
Yeah, that is a great name. Holy shit. Todd Ritter.
Congratulations, man. That's so good.
Congratulations. That's a stellar blend.
You should really be proud of that. Absolutely.
All right, damn, I got like actual like business stationery for William Davilar's blend. Hey Jason, the blend is 113.7 proof. He even proofed it for us.
Wow.
A 4-part blend of Stag Junior Batch 11, which is not really one of the most talked about Stag Juniors.
Matt, by the way, Matt said Stag Junior. He said it tasted like Buffalo Trace.
He did.
Yeah.
He called it.
Yep.
Stag Junior Batch 11, 127.9. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A119, which came in 135.2. Eagle Rare and Rittenhouse Rye.
What?
What?
How much Rittenhouse Rye was in there?
He said the real kicker is that it was blended 18 months ago. I kept missing your Blendageddon. I hope you enjoy it. Cheers.
Wow.
Holy shit. That blows my mind right there.
That's pretty cool.
And Matt, you called it. I mean, I kept saying Four Roses. It reminded me of Four Roses, but the Stag Junior, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, Eagle Rare, I think it was the Rittenhouse that was giving it like that rye floral aspect. Holy shit.
So last year during my advent calendar, somebody did a 50-50 blend of Stag Junior and Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. But the Rittenhouse Rye and the ECBP, I mean, I don't know. I can't take credit for it because number 6 was all Stag Junior.
Yeah, that was all Stag Junior.
Didn't call that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, that was so good.
So the champion, Mr. Todd Ritter, with his blend number 5. Where the hell is that? Do I even have any left? Oh, it's right here over here. The little bit I have left. Let's find out what was in this one.
There.
Oh, geez. Okay. My blend was pretty simple and stayed true to the name of the blend. Now remember, his name of the blend was Heaven and Hill. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A120. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B520. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C920, which was a fucking hitter of a release. And then the kicker, I think this is the dusty note I picked up in the beginning, and this is the dusty note you picked up at the end, Fred. A pre-1983 Old Heaven Hill 10-year-old.
Wow, you guys picked that up. That's crazy. That's awesome.
That's what that little dusty funk was on the back end of that one.
That is so good.
Holy
awesome.
shit, it's so good.
Wish I saved a little bit more.
I'm serious. If that was a regular release, that might be my bourbon of the year.
I think it could be an easy call out for one.
Easy call. That's fucking delicious.
Yeah.
I will take a 750 milliliter of that, please.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm going to order that up right now. I hope you have a lot of that 1983 Old Heaven Hill. I'm placing my order right now. I want a full bottle of that blend.
As payment, we will gladly taste that again for you, the three of us. I'm breaking down even further. So
yeah.
I was 17,000th in line for the Sazerac barrel release today.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least 1 through 3 for the Todd Ritter blend release today. Later on.
You were 17, Matt. I was like 23, so you were ahead of me. Yeah, I'm waving at you from behind. Yeah.
Oh, he commented. He said it's truly an honor, and I think he missed the part where the bottle's in the mail to you.
Thank you guys. It's truly where's the he's gonna have to make more of that. Yeah.
But Todd, listen, like I'll be honest with you. There are a lot of people that could take your ingredients and screw it up. So I think it's you got skill, my friend. You got skill. You got good parts, but you also got good skill. And I would say the blender on one, one is the same. 3, 4, just exceptional blending skills. Like you can tell it. And I think maybe I think 2 might have been the one where I would say, like, let's go back to the drawing board. You got a lot of parts in there, but that's the only one.
Yeah.
And I think that's an emulsion or kind of a mingling time. Like you got to, when you have that many parts, you're going to miss out if they're not together for a lot.
Yeah, it just maybe it just didn't mingle over time on number 2 there. But
Hey, Fred, I have a question.
Mhm.
So I've never been like on a panel of judges before. How often is it that, like, if you have a panel of 3 judges, agree on a winner?
yeah,
Pretty rare. It's
Yeah?
pretty rare. Yeah. There's usually at least one outlier.
So
and-
Fred, give us. I mean, you do these competitions a lot.
Mhm.
Give us a little bit of a behind the scenes of actually how those
Sure.
designations are made a little bit, as far as when whiskeys are being judged and you're just tasting a multitude of whiskeys. Is it usually like a good like grouping that ends up making it to like your top tier that you're gonna start tasting
So
to weed out a winner? How does it work?
you always so when you're a taster at competition, I've been a taster in I think 10 different competitions, and now I own one. You fall on the you fall on the guidance and the rules of the competition.
Yeah, yeah,
And these competitions are businesses, so people like talk about like there's a lot of medals. It's because they're in the business of judging each individual glass and giving it a medal. The medals, if you want to really laser in and focus on what they are, they're really nothing more than like a magazine score. And but when you see best or the double gold or stuff, that is really where, like, as a consumer, you can take away a lot of value. But how it goes at most competitions is like you have the first round, which is and every competition is very different with how they treat the first round. There are some that have a high elimination amount,
hmm
and then there are some that have a 90% metal to 98% metal round. Everything on the table gets a medal, but they don't move on to that next step. But it's at that table where, as a you have to agree in order for that glass to move on. And so, like in a flight of whiskey that'll be, or like a category as big as, like, say, bourbon, there will be 120 entries, and there will only be like 10 that move on.
Okay.
Out of those 120 entries, only you know only 10 of them at some competitions won't get a medal. At my competition, the Ascots, which you all are both judges at next year, we're about, more than half don't get medals. They get honorable mention, but or they don't get anything at all. But when they move on to that next phase, that's when they compete against everything. And then then that gets narrowed down, and you move outside of your specialists. So everyone who's been tasting those spirits were specialists in that spirit.
hmm
And then you bring in like people who are loose specialists into that spirit. And then it goes out into everybody who's just a spirits judge. So now somebody who has a gin palate will have a vote on bourbon versus scotch for best whiskey. So that's how it goes. And when you're at the table, that's the most important part, because that's where you can have a say and you can jockey and you can move. And that's essentially what this would have been, if we were in like in a flight scenario and in competition. But it also happens so fast, and you don't get as much time with the glass like we did here. And but I do believe in the competitions. Back in the 1800s, there used to be government officials who actually tasted the products to give like a stamp of approval,
hmm
kind of like a USDA prime or like a USDA choice. They had like an assayer who would give a quality rating on whiskeys. and we don't have that anymore. And there's just so much bad stuff out there. The problem with it is there are so many competitions, and these things are just marketing at the end of the day. I'm trying to create one that has that gets consumers to appreciate the competition. That's why we are transparent. We live streamed all the tastings, or we tried to. I videoed the tastings, and we want the consumers to appreciate it as much as the trade. But at the end of the day, we don't have in spirits, we don't have an Olympics, because if a distillery knows they will not get if they know that they won't win, or they don't have a shot at winning, they won't enter. So all the spirits competitions are dependent upon the brands to enter. There's not a single one of them, with the exception of in some, like our stuff that we do, like our whiskeys of the year. Those should be put in the same breath as competitions, because you're tasting everything and you're making your decision based on you. I mean, that's as pure as it can possibly be.
Yep.
And you're not asking for a submission. You just get in the bottle.
So, Fred, I want to ask you a quick question. I listened to the podcast that you did, the podcast series you did with Bourbon Pursuit on the bourbon market and where it's going. One thing I wanted to ask you tonight is when it comes to, I've been disappointed more this year than any other year when it comes to tasting different bourbons and whiskeys just overall.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there are so many options these days that are more good than bad at this time, or do you still feel like pricing could end up breaking the bourbon bubble? I'm just wanting to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah. So there's a few things. I tweeted about this the other day. What we are seeing right now is there are more opinions on what is good bourbon than there ever has been. And we kind of there was a brand that kind of came out and we talked about it as a perfect example. If 291 would have came out in 1995, they would have lasted 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But because today, the new consumer does not have a traditional bourbon palate, they will go to local, or they will go to something that's edgy and cool and different. And I first noticed this with Hudson Baby Bourbon when I was doing blind tastings in 2013 at the Kentucky Derby Museum with just everyday consumers, and they would choose Hudson Baby Bourbon over Blanton's, which at the time I could get Blanton's all day long and share it with. It was more common than Blanton's didn't move in 2013 like it does today. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
And so people, everyday consumers, were choosing Hudson when they were doing blind. There's somebody asked me if they detect some livestock judging in my education. Yes, as a matter of fact, yes. I was on the Oklahoma State dairy judging team. I judged in high school. I was
Adam Dorman wins the blue ribbon tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's fascinating that he can pick that up. But that's when you judge, you're asked to put two pencils down next to each other and give the reasons as to why you like one pencil over the other. And anyway, that's a whole different conversation. But what is happening now is that there is not an average bourbon consumer. There's us, which are the geeks.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people who are constantly engaged and wanting to learn and out there. But we're the minority. We're the minority. We really are.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yep.
Most people are just walking into Total Wine or wherever and picking up a bottle or depending on a sales rep, who's getting a special commission if they sell one bottle over the other. So it's a unique time. It's a unique time, and every one of these brands, don't ever underestimate the power of a small brand to reach a community and that fire to grow. Never underestimate that. And so,
Little
a
smoke
few years
wagon
ago,
action.
yeah, Smoke Wagon. I think
Smoke Wagon is a perfect example of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in 10 to 20 years, Smoke Wagon will be like at the level at auctions, will be at the level like their higher end blends that they do will be at the level that Pappy is now and the higher end Michters. I'm not talking about the everyday stuff. I'm talking about the higher end blends because there has been a hysteria created around that brand. There's an excitement around it and people are passionate about it. And it's a great bottle. And Aaron is a great personality. Personality drives bourbon.
Absolutely.
I mean, it drives bourbon. And so there's a reason why the early Whistle Pig bottles are going for $8,000 to $12,000 at auction right now. It's because it was the first stuff that Dave Pickrell touched from Whistle Pig. So you're starting to see a lot. You see personality in the bottles, and that carries over in the excitement toward it. And so I just like to say that when we look at a brand like 291, or whether it's Breckenridge or Balcones or Iron Root or Garrison Brothers, never underestimate a brand's ability to just break through what we think bourbon should taste like and reach a community that gives the rest of us the bird, and that's what they like,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Hey Fred, did you see my my video reviewing your rare and limited blend?
I did not. Did it suck?
No, it was probably the worst video I've ever made because I couldn't. No, I literally couldn't stop just going. It was an hour. It was an hour. I had to edit an hour of me giggling and laughing about it. It might have. I think that probably scored the highest of anything I've ever known what it was. It was that those two barrels you blended together randomly on your live stream with him. Somebody just sent it to me, and I tasted it blind, and then I retasted it. Holy crap! That bottle is insane.
That's awesome. It's pretty special. It's pretty good. But at the end of the day, you can never duplicate that. And it's not like I did it. It's not like I did anything that was special. It's just like it's fucking great whiskey. I mean,
it was just
And by the way, guys, just as a reminder, speaking of Smoke Wagon, Mr. Matt Porter, ADHD Whiskey, will be doing a live interview, a live panel with Aaron Chapanek over at Smoke Wagon during Repeal Day. So
yeah, I tried to actually ask him if he wanted to talk about anything in general, and he was like, "I just talk about whatever."
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter.
Matt's just gonna pull that cord and watch him go. Just
I've had a lot of fun with Aaron. He's fun, and the thing is like he's got such a great story, but it's so easy to get focused on that story, and just completely forget about the whiskey. And I just think that something's got to be said about he's contract distilling and he's getting the money. I mean, he's getting the thing is like money is the big factor of all of this. It's the hardest, and he gets it, and he keeps it going, and he's like nobody can get his product, and he's doing a great job. And it's not his social media. At the end of the day, people like to point toward that, and that's a part of it. But
it's a part of it. But his blending is what sells it.
Yeah,
he's a great
blending
blender.
is fantastic.
All right, guys, real quick before we start doing the giveaways, real quick, guys, one at a time. Your favorite bourbon under $100.
Well,
Man,
Why don't you ask me what my favorite kid is while you're at it? Good Lord.
seriously. God. I mean, if I had to say this year, probably the Remus Repeal 5.
It's
That's probably my favorite bourbon number 100 that I've had this year. Well, I mean, you could put Russell's Reserve 13 in there if you're getting it at retail, but retail was a little bit hard to come by with that bottle this year.
I would say, you know what? My go-to answer all the time is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Yeah.
But you know what? People can't find that all the time. So Old Forester 1920, go to a store, grab it. That's the winner.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to say if I'm talking availability, I'm going rare breed all fucking day long. So
there you go. Yep.
There you go.
Well, under $100, huh? Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just buying. I'm just buying that $2,000 Kentucky Owl. That's all I buy. So,
yeah.
No, I'm
Kentucky
kidding.
Owl is all you buy.
That's all I buy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
no, I'd say
$300 bourbons.
That's all I buy all the time. I'm gonna have my Kentucky Owl, and
it's just a hard thing to say because you can't find stuff for prices anymore that are even regular.
No,
like, hey,
even stuff that we talk about as being available is now becoming unavailable.
How about this? And this is a cop out in some ways. Store picks, whatever store pick, I'm buying, and they're very rarely over $100. They're usually under 100.
Oh yeah. I mean store picks. If you know of a pallet, if you know a store that has a pallet that lines up with yours, store picks are invaluable. Honestly.
Yeah. So I got a good story for you all on store picks. I used to I was hanging out with this bar owner from San Francisco, and he was telling me this was 10 years ago, and he had been cut off, but he used to do Van Winkle barrel picks, and
that was a thing.
They did Van Winkle barrel picks, but people forget, like, Van Winkle, Julian couldn't give that whiskey away.
Wow.
And the reason why they stopped doing them is because they sent they did a barrel pick for a very famous chef, and it just got out into distribution, and that chef was fucking pissed. Like, he did like the dinners around this and had everything all set up, and they stopped doing them, and it was because that someone within the distribution system grabbed the bottles that were earmarked for a restaurant. But yeah, there's all these like old stories between like 2000 from like 98 to like 2004 of like people doing these Van Winkle picks. And
oh my God, I couldn't even imagine on what the market today would demand for a Van Winkle barrel pick. That's insane.
Well, they don't come up because the people won't, they don't sell them. They drink them, or they were drink, but there's a reason why Van Winkle came to its prominence, and it's not because of the weird shit happening today. It's because it was great whiskey, and there was a lot of effort put into it.
Oh my! Hey, Jason, did you watch the interview with the guy who was involved with fraudulent bottles that Fred was involved in with Bourbon Pursuit?
Yeah,
and you could literally hear Fred wanting to jump across the table.
You could literally hear Fred wanting to jump over the table and choke the guy out. Yeah.
Fred's like, "Don't you believe you should be in jail right now, you son of a bitch?"
Yeah, Fred might as well just said, "Don't you believe that I should stab you in the neck right now?" I mean, or
how quickly do you think I could get to your throat?
Yeah,
right now.
Fred, I mean, even in a podcast format, you could feel the hatred and the tension that you had across the table. Like, I was just waiting to hear like a scuffle at some point. I was
driving a 40-foot bus at the time, and you know what I started doing? Running red lights. Didn't even care. I had the Fred in me. I was like so pissed off. I'm like, you know what? I own this road. I don't even care anymore.
The thing is, I really regret that moment, guys. I really do.
Do you really?
You weren't mean. You had every single right to be upset.
I regret it because I was not me. I let my emotions get the better of me.
Yeah.
And to be
Fred,
honest with you, you're both
screw
right.
you for having emotions.
I agree. I agree with Top Shelf Dustin. If you're going to counterfeit bourbon, it's no big deal if it's Blanton's. Yeah.
By the way, have you seen those like fake bottles coming up from the people that are like, "Hey, message me if you want this bottle"? It's like got like this like 3D print.
Yeah,
I got a whole row of them back here.
It's like a bottle of Bland's, and it's like in front of like the laser background from the 80s.
Yeah,
I'm like, what? Where do you have this bottle, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. But Fred, honestly, don't ever. Just like you said before to Matt and myself, don't ever apologize for being you. You obviously have a passionate stance.
Well, I put my look. I mean,
you have a passionate stance on how you felt about that, and it came through.
Yeah,
and that's what it's about.
And you know, I put my co-hosts in a difficult situation, and they'd never seen the journalist side of me like that, you know. And when I can't control it. You know, to be honest with you, but when I've been on stage with whether it's an artist or whether it's a distiller, like, and I have one of those, and there's someone who's came up in my interview side where for my podcast, the Fred Minnick Show, like a celebrity that is in the news a lot for a lot of bad things. I was like, I can't interview him. I'm like, he really wants to come on your show and drink some bourbon with you. I was like, if he comes on my show, I'm going to talk about how, you know, he's a piece of shit and this and that. And it's like, and I don't want that to be where that show goes. That show's supposed to be fun. I want to have fun with it. I don't want to become like Joe Rogan where everything's serious all the time or anything like that.
Yeah.
But that moment, I let myself get away a little bit. I wasn't controlled. And that's all I'll say. And like, you know,
you seemed 100% controlled is what we're saying.
No, that's what we're saying. You were controlled, but you could still feel the disdain in you.
Which is a good thing.
Julie Like.
And I hope he felt that.
Julie Like. You know. It was an interview they did on Bourbon Pursuit. They interviewed an actual Pappy counterfeiter. If you want to look back at some of those episodes, you could find it, Jules. All right. So with that, real quick, guys, as far as GoFundMe donations, we hit my goal. I put a goal of $5,000, but we well exceeded that at a goal of $11,137.
Woo, baby!
I want to say thanks to all of you. Holy shit,
that's a lot of dimp.
That's a lot. That's a lot of paper. It's a lot of paper.
That's incredible. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thanks again. Thanks to Durell Stewart for doing this. Thanks to Fred and Matt for coming on tonight and helping out with this. It's actually $11,207. Actually, somebody said. Oh, it just went up to $11,207. Okay. Plus, nice. there's some YouTube super chats on top of that as well. I'm gonna donate that shit tomorrow once we're all said and done here. Great job, Bourbon community. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to run down the list. Adriana already in the background from Whiskey Mountains. Everybody show her some love in the chat. Adriana from Whiskey Mountains has been, and also Marty from Whiskey Knows. They've been in the back end of this the whole time, just taking chats and following and taking down all the people that have been donating. So you guys are in the running for some bottles. So what Adriana's going to do, she's going to be running a randomizer. Go ahead, Matt. What were you saying?
Adriana is also a huge Knob Creek fan. So if you have some great Knob Creeks you want to share with her, she has so much for the community, so much for Whiskey Tube.
She does.
I'm sure she would love to taste some of your favorite Knob Creek.
Yeah. If anyone has any stellar Knob Creek picks or anything, please let me know, and we can get those to Adriana.
I got to get her this right here. This is the best Knob Creek pick I've ever had.
Oh my God.
It's from Chef Greg Ritchie in Orlando. He's I think he's the best restaurateur there, but he's got a great palate. Chefs always have great palates, but you can't always depend on them to have a great bourbon palate.
Yeah.
But he's got an exceptional bourbon palate, and this is it's 15 years old, and warehouse WX floor F4 Rick R033. Boy, they really lasered that shit in. Yeah. 120 proof. Yeah. If I'll send this to you, Jason, however you get it to her. Cool.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be a great thank you for her.
Awesome.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate her and the help for Whiskey too.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is she has both lists. She's gonna collect the chats right now, and we're gonna start dropping the names here in the chat. We'll run down the list real quick here. We're not gonna take a lot of time doing this, guys. We just want to kind of run through the list here of who's getting what. What I will say is that whatever winners come up here, if your name is called, please email me at themashanddrum@gmail.com, and I will get your information over to Durell Stewart and also myself, just because we have a few different bottles and also some sample packs that we're going to be sending out to everybody. So Whiskey Mountain's first winner here. And let's go through them real quick here. First winner, this would be for the Bomberger's bourbon. Michael Bro. So Michael, I think that's how you say it. Michael Bro, Braux. Congratulations. You got yourself the Bomberger's bourbon.
That's a big win.
2021. Next bottle up will be the Shenks for 2021. Whiskey Mountains, let us know who you have there.
God, I could go for some of that right now. It's so good.
The Bombergers for 2021.
Yeah.
I'm really upset. I ran out of Todd Ritter's blend.
Yeah, I'm out of that. I blended a little bit of 3 and 4 together. That worked too.
Yeah,
that's pretty nice.
Shank's bourbon is going to go to Stephen Holtzclaw, who I know signed off a little bit earlier. But congratulations, Stephen.
By the way, Shank's not even a bourbon. By the way.
Yeah, Shank's is an American whiskey. Honestly.
It's weird. I didn't know that until I was reviewing it.
Yep, Shank's is an American whiskey.
Y'all know the story of Shank's, like the originals?
The original, it kind of ties into to Michter's.
Yeah, they're all Michter's related.
Yeah,
it's all Michter's connected to that one site.
Yep.
Like if you try to go to the original Michter's distillery, there'll be a guy who shows up with a shotgun, pointing it right at you to get off the property.
Next up is Calumet 15, goes to Mojo 88 base and bourbon via the likes donation. So congrats to both of you guys.
It's a solid one. That's like $120 bottle. Huge.
Yeah, Calumet 15 is no joke.
Yeah.
The drummer and Jason says bass. The fisherman and Matt says bass.
Thanks for everything tonight. Enjoyed you all. Absolutely, Jim. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support tonight. All right, so we have 3 bottles down. Next up will be the Henry Mckenna 10-year single barrel bourbon that Fred made completely elusive. Thanks, Fred.
Fred doubled down. He said, not only is this the winner, but it's also my daily drinker.
Fred's like, I put that, I give that in the bottle to my kids. Henry Mckenna 10-year single barrel bourbon goes to AC Jones, MD. Congratulations.
All right.
So cool. His name is AC.
AC. Next up, we have 5-pack samples. So Durell Stewart, who we met in the beginning of the stream, has an incredible whiskey collection. He's going to give away 5-pack samples twice of anything in his collection. So I could tell you he's got William Lee Wellers. He's got a lot of shit. So someone's
he has less after tonight, though.
What's that?
He has way less after tonight, though.
Way less after tonight. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, all right. Henry Mckenna. She already did that. Let's see. Blending for Blendageddon is an amazing exercise in refining your palate. Congrats to both of the winners of Blendageddon. Absolutely. First sample pack goes to Alex Bruyere. Congratulations, Alex.
Alex Burai.
That's exactly what I thought. I'm like,
yeah.
that's a cool name.
Alex, yeah. I went fancy. It was like Gruyere, like Gruyere cheese. Alex Bruyere.
Yeah, it's good cheese, though.
Yeah.
I tried to get the guys at High West to bring back Son of Burai, and they said no.
Oh, they're not? Ah, shit.
Said no.
Well, I mean, when you get cut off from a pretty good source like MGP, you know, for certain things, it
tough.
happens.
Yeah,
we'll do it.
Second goes to Brian Brennicky. Yes,
Brian Brennicky, legend.
Congratulations, Brian.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Tammy.
All right, next up is the Buffalo Trace Kosher Wheat Bourbon. Buffalo Trace Kosher Wheat goes to Michael Keller. Congratulations to Michael Keller. Next up is the Barrel Craft Seagrass. We were talking about this bottle, Fred and I.
Okay,
earlier.
don't put it in the chat yet. Whoever does the chat.
Okay.
This is the bottle. This is a bottle for whiskey of the year on everybody's list. This shit is so good.
This shit is so good.
See the guy sitting over there, Seagrass?
Ryan Seagrass? He's right there. What did you think of that one, Maddie?
So I've only tasted it in a blind.
Okay.
Which was, and I didn't like it in a blind.
Okay.
I need to retaste it by itself, standalone.
Hey man, trust the blind. Trust the blind.
Well, no, it wasn't a blind flight, so I had other things around it, which altered it. So it was difficult. But the one time I did smell it, I thought it smelled like tropical Skittles by itself. I need to retaste it for sure.
It totally tastes like I got strawberry Skittles on it like all day long.
It's so different.
Yep.
It's so different. And you know, some people don't like it, but that's how whiskey goes.
Barrel Craft Seagrass Finished Rye Whiskey goes to Mike Hickman. Congratulations, Mike.
Boom.
Good job. That's a great bottle. In my opinion, it's very different. It's a Frankenstein of a whiskey, but it's delicious. Next up, one of the more rare bottles that we've seen this year, Old Forester Barrel Strength Single Barrel Rye.
Ooh.
So these were met pretty well by really great reviews. A lot of people loved them, including myself.
I think I might have been the only bad review.
Yeah, I
gave the review right in front of Jackie Zykin.
So first of all, what is with you and Jack? Like you shit on the 1910 when you first tried it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not in front of her face on that one, but didn't like it. But no. Well, Jackie and I are very good friends. But it's also a little bit of like, you know, I mean, she's got to talk shit about me when I'm there. Oh well, Fred didn't like it, so I mean, she's got it. And if she doesn't, I'm disappointed. Yeah. But it's
James Layton. Congratulations, man.
It's a big win. But I mean, a lot of people like it. I didn't like the medicinal cherry in it.
Yeah. All right. So now next up, we have two bottles of Remus Repeal 5.
Dang. Wait, 2 for one person?
No. We're gonna give away 2 different ones, but there's 2. So the first one goes to Austin Bucket.
I thought you were going to say Matt Porter and Fred Minnick. I'm confused.
One of them's going to Austin Bucket, and then
Congrats,
the other
Austin.
One, yeah. Kay Finley says liking Seagrass so much, ending my evening with it. Who's got the second one? Whiskey Mountains. Second Remus goes to Kirill Igorov. He sounds like he's from Russia. All right. He might be
from Missouri. He's a Missouri guy. Congratulations to Kirill and congratulations to Austin. Next up in the fundraiser, we have an Obtainium 13-year light whiskey. We were just talking about some of those light whiskeys earlier. Let's see.
I just traded a Blanton's for a Remus 5 last week. You won on that.
I did
deal.
that.
Yeah.
I did that for a Remus 3 at Justin's House of Bourbon.
Yep.
I brought him a Blanton's and took a Remus 3.
Obtainium Light Whiskey goes to Mike McDonald. Congratulations. Next up, Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye, which is it's like drinking a creamsicle with like black pepper all over it. Like a lot of orange, a lot of spice.
Creamsicle or Dreamsicle?
Well, maybe Dreamsicle. It might be Dreamsicle. Let's see here. Another Mike. There's a lot of Mikes winning, apparently.
So many Mikes.
Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye goes to Scott Tyson. He's Scott Tyson is he's the heir to the Tyson chicken fortune.
Also, Mike Tyson's younger brother, who had a few bouts in the welterweight back in the early 90s.
There you go.
Despicable.
Next up is a big one, guys. Michter's Toasted Barrel Bourbon.
Ooh.
This is it's a pretty rare bottle to find, especially at retail. So
this has got one of those like crazy, fan followings, kind of a
cult classic.
It does. Yeah, it's a cult classic. This one goes to Austin Burris. Congratulations.
We have an Austin Buckets and an Austin Burris.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. These guys are going, yep. There you go. Next up is a Weller 107. Got a Weller Antique coming in. Let's see. Why is the EC Toasted so hard to get?
Well, mostly.
I
mean,
it's
terrible. It didn't get a lot of love from people, and so I don't think they put a lot out.
Weller 107 goes to Bourbon Bites.
Hey, well deserved.
There you go, Cliffy. There you go. Yeah, Ohio's Cheerios. Basically, that's what Weller 107 is. It's all over Ohio. Ohio's Cheerios. Bourbon Bites is in there. Yay, he says.
Yay.
Next is coming up. We have 2 Weller 12s, including this one right here.
I'll take a spare Weller 12. No big deal.
There's a Weller 12 right here. We're gonna be giving 2 of these away. Weller 12 number 1 goes to Adam Dorman, who called out Fred Minnick's, called out his talent for livestock.
What a unique thing to catch. I guess there are some phrases and terminology that you never lose, but wow.
You mean like
something about Fred says he likes chicken?
Yeah.
Second Weller 12 goes to Michael Pena. Congratulations, guys. Those are some great bottles right there. Next up is a single barrel store pick of Blanton's. Get your horsey tops out.
Ooh.
Here it comes. Get your horsey tops. Another freaking Mike wins. Jesus Christmas. All right. Who's winning the Blanton's horsey tops single barrel store pick? That's thanks all. It's funny because I gave away a Well 107 during the last fundraiser on Whiskey Tube, and now I was getting it back. Austin Burris says, that's so awesome. This was such a fantastic evening. So great. How much was raised? Thanks, Austin. Appreciate it. Blanton's goes to Adam. Adam Olson now. Okay. Dang. All right. Congratulations. That you gets the Blantons. Next up, a Midwinter's Nights Dram, the newest one, 2021, Act 9, Scene 5.
So good.
That's
next. My ride of the year right there, baby. Right there. I mean, maybe, possibly.
I haven't been able to get a damn bottle of that shit yet. It hasn't hit Ohio at all. So,
Fred, have you tried the new Midwinter?
No, I haven't had that one yet.
Amateurs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were in Utah, so
I literally got it. We just by luck on the day of that they released it, we were in Park City, which was really stupid.
That's awesome. All right, let's see. Who do we got here? A Midwinter's Night Dram goes to Scott Robinson. Congrats, Scott.
Hey, Scott A.
Scott A. getting the Midwinters. Next up, Bardstown Bourbon Company, Ferran, the cognac finished bourbon.
Jason, Ferran,
the great finished whiskey. I repeat, Jason, this and next week, Dram is coming to Ohio. All right, man, I'm waiting for you. This goes to Steve Samansky. Congratulations, Steve.
Steve, congrats, dude.
I think I said that right, but next up, coming up is ADHD, his whiskey Nulu single barrel pick. And I'll tell you guys, I got to taste that when I was in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it's fucking ridiculously good. So
It's all right. It's pretty good.
Question, Mark Dion says, Fred, curious why no Maker's Mark or George Dickel in the bourbon's under 40. Also, why Buffalo Trace when MSRP is less than 30?
Well,
Tim Goodman. Tim Goodman.
I can answer that for Fred.
I know. Tim Goodman was the ADHD whiskey mule.
I'm not a doctor, but
yeah, I'm not a genius, but I could probably answer that for Fred.
Let's keep it to the winners here.
can tag me in at any time.
Next up was a pretty rare release, the Yamazaki 12-year-old Japanese whiskey. So we're gonna wait on that one. Steve is here. Whoa, holy shit! Congratulations, Steve.
Congrats, Steve.
Again, all the winners, email me at themashandrum@gmail.com so we could get your bottles situated and sent to you. Congratulations. It hit Ohio already. What, the midwinters? I haven't seen it yet. Yamazaki 12-year goes to Danny's Candies.
Oh,
congratulations, Danny.
Right on, Danny's. That's a big one.
Thanks for all your candies.
That is a big one right there.
Next up, I think we have two left here. Well, two bottles left. We have Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. Speaking of Smoke Wagon, that goes to, oh my God, Whiskey Mountains wrote Smoke Wagon Uncircumcised. Goes to Nicholas Brown. Congratulations.
Oh my God.
Autocorrect, am I right?
Midwinter's Nice Rain was in Twinsburg today. What the fuck? Where the hell is that shit hanging out? I gotta find me one of those. Awesome. Lastly, here we have Old Elk Bourbon, but the special thing about this bottle is it's signed by Greg Metz, legendary master distiller at MGP and now at Old Elk. That one goes to James Munt. Congratulations.
Attaboy, James. Good bottle.
Attaboy.
Could go for a good Munt cake right about now.
There you go. I think we have two sample packs now. One from Todd Ritter, the winner of Blendageddon, and one from Pop 'em, Don't Watch 'em. So the winner
sent the sample pack?
Yeah, he put a sample pack in there. So let's get with that winner. Pop 'em, Don't Watch 'em. Oh, can you tell your samples again? She's saying it was a crazy sample pack that he's putting in. Here he goes. Sample pack: Old Carter Ryback 7, Bourbon 8, 9, 10, American Whiskey 4, 5, 6, and the Louisiana Batch 1 Bourbon, 12-year single barrel Kentucky Bourbon. So it's an Old Carter crazy pack.
Wow.
Nice.
That's going to go to Tim Evans. Congratulations,
Tim.
Good job,
Tim's
Tim.
a big supporter of all of us. I'm glad that Tim got that.
Tim's awesome, man.
Love Tim.
And I think we're going to have two more giveaways. One is the sample pack from Todd Ritter. Who do we have for that? Todd, let us know in the chat. He might have went to bed already, but I think he had a pretty good sample pack he was throwing in. A bottle of Todd Ritter's 2014 Russell single barrel pick. So the Blendageddon winner's bottle goes to. Yeah, that's a great.
That's whoever gets this bottle is like the winner of the winner, right?
Yeah,
so
that's special. He sent me a sample of that pick, and it's fucking incredible.
Wow.
If you like Russell's picks, it's insanely good. Thrasher wins it. Nice.
Heck yeah, Chris. Good, congrats, man.
Heck yeah. And one last throw-in we'll do. Last winner. I have Brian Treacy just texted me. Brian Treacy, one of the founders over there at Sagamore Spirit. He is throwing in a bottle of Sagamore Port Finish Rye Whiskey. which is an
yeah.
absolutely delicious rye.
Yeah.
So add that to the list, Adriana. Do one more giveaway, and we'll call it a night.
I just got their bottled and bond too. I can't wait to taste that.
Yeah.
Can we add somebody who can give me a great shoulder rub to the giveaway? I'm just sick of paying for them.
I could do that for you. I could do that for you, man. You want to
Okay.
shoulder rub? Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I win. I get to rub your sweater vest. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah, Sagamore port finished, which is a pretty. I don't think you can find those as easy anymore. But what do you got there? One last winner from Adriana. Todd Ritter says, "Oh, I got you." Todd Ritter's gonna massage your shoulders too.
Lots of love for them shoulders, Matt.
Congrats on the Sagamore goes to Mandy and Kelsey Dime. Congrats.
Boom.
Very, very cool. And that will round out all of our winners tonight. Wow.
That went incredibly fast. Great job.
It did. Great. So real quick, I want to give a huge shout out to Adriana at Whiskey Mountains and also to Marty over at Whiskey Nose. Whiskey. I don't know if you heard, Adriana, but you're about to get the rest of this Knob Creek pick. That is the best Knob Creek pick Fred Minnick has ever had. So we're going to get that to you for helping out. Thank you so much. Guys, overall, we raised almost $12,000.
Wow.
Pretty much right there for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. I can't say thank you enough to the whiskey community. Again, we also have to thank Durell Stewart for donating a predominant amount of these bottles. And to Fred and Matt for coming on and also helping promoting this amazing night. I want to say thanks to all you guys.
Well, I mean, this has always been my community, and whiskey's like we care about each other, whether you're like getting fresh into it or you've been into it for 40 years, and people in this world care about one another, and there's not a greater cause than St. Jude, and like it hits me here, as the father of two little boys, and I just appreciate the opportunity to be able to taste with you all, and very impressed that we picked almost everything exactly the same. I was very impressed with that, and just fantastic tasting. Fantastic. And congrats to all the winners. What a great bottles that Durell donated.
Right? Yeah, Durell freaking just bringing. I mean, he got that Yamazaki 12 today. He's like, you know what? I'll just throw it in the mix. So, I mean, that's the type of guy he is. Durell Stewart is an absolute legend. So
it was a beautiful night for me personally. I thank you so much for having me, Jason.
I had a lot of fun. Thank you.
More
Jason,
match,
for inviting me.
more match Minnick and Matt. Yeah, we'll have to work that out, guys.
Wow, the 3 M's. Never thought of it that way.
3 M's, man. All right. So with that, guys, what can I say? This was an absolutely epic night. Congratulations to all the Blendageddon blenders who made it to the top 6. Incredible blends. Obviously, made it very hard for us. A huge congratulations to Todd Ritter, blender of Heaven and Hill, the winner tonight. Congratulations. Also, congrats to the winners. Thank you all for all the amazing donations tonight. I'm going to send that shit tomorrow. I cannot wait to send that in to St. Jude Children's Hospital. It was a beautiful night of giving, beautiful night of tasting some great blends from the whiskey community itself. This was a community effort all around. Fred Minnick, thank you so much. We will see you this weekend. If you guys have not signed up for your free tickets, please do so over at Repeal Day Expo coming up this weekend. We will see Mr. Matt himself there. Matt, what do you got coming up?
Repeal Day Expo Saturday. If you don't have your tickets to Repeal Day Expo, then I'm going to drive to Michigan, get in my 1999 Toyota Corolla, which is actually 2004. It doesn't even run great, but I will find you and I will run you down one by one because that's what you deserve.
That's right.
Get your Repeal Day tickets right now, repealdayexpo.com, or else Corolla time.
Fred, what do you got to close it out?
you got free. I just put a link in here. You know, you can get in the expo hall for free. I'm also I'm going to be in New York next week. I got an event after the Repeal Day Expo, which thank you all. I'm so excited you all are going to be there. I've got an event in New York at a place called the Cutting Room, and I'm doing a Michter's 20-year-old tasting with a bunch of other stuff, and love for you all to come out if you're in New York and go check that out. Look at the Cutting Room or go to my website, fredminnick.com. And I haven't mentioned this anywhere yet, but I'll be on the Today Show again next week. So I'll be on there, you know, talking about what booze people should buy for the holidays.
Hell yeah,
Nice.
man.
Also, me and Fred will be in Bardstown on the 11th for World's Top Whiskey Taster Finals.
After that,
yes.
You guys can get tickets on their website now for World's Top Whiskey Taster Finals. We'll be there, and we will be, I don't know, probably dressed up in what I would consider to be a sweater vest and an ascot. Just saying.
Yeah.
I will be in Kentucky next week on Tuesday, picking an Old Forester single barrel bourbon with Jackie Zykin. So that's going to be a lot of. I'll tell her you said hi, Fred, and how much you love her rye.
Oh yeah, we'll be texting back and forth probably what we're doing.
Yes,
she and I are very tight. She's cool.
Real quick, guys, the final total for the night with the super chat totals $12,064, all going to St. Jude's. You guys are fucking incredible.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much. Let's raise our glasses here. Cheers to the Blendageddon winners. Cheers to the St. Jude Children's Hospital, to Shari G. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's people you share with. Cheers, guys, and we'll see you next time right here on the Master and Drum. Take care, everybody.
Cheers. Vodka sucks.